Allow the children to have the budget. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary na ibi number 1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. jó ìgbádìyẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Brunch Time with Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Please read beyond the caption for this broadcast. Read the description as well. Like it. Share it. To invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Mayegun today, Mayegun don't come. Thank you. So this afternoon, this morning, depends on the time you are joining. We shall be continuing from where we stopped last night. Because it seems like it is an unfinished business yesterday. And I have seen a lot of Simon Ekpa's people besieged my channel, calling me names. Afonja, betrayal, jealousy, enemy, and all those things. You know why I'm not going to really be miffed by all of that nonsense from some of you? It's because you have called yourself worst names, simply because you disagree between yourselves on top this Biafra matter. But there is something I'm going to say to you. If you are a Simon Ekpa supporter, there are 5 stages of grief. The first one is denial. The second one is anger. The third one is bargaining. The fourth one is depression. And the last one is acceptance. You are all going to pass through that stages one by one. And eventually, you are going to accept the reality. But I will get back to you. Similarly to the Ronukus, it is the same. Majority of them who went all out for Thiefnubu, they called their fellow, especially the Ronukus, they called their fellow Yorubas Omuale, all for Kolu. And less than 2 years after, majority of them they've passed through the stages of denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and then maybe at acceptance. I don't know what stage some of them are right now. But the truth of the matter is that on Mayegun's diary political, I am the person that will say the truth to you, even if it makes you uncomfortable. And you can call me any name you want. You can ask me stupid questions as much as you like. All those stages, I kind of understand them very well. When something is wrong, I'll say it to your face, it is wrong. And if it's pretty much right, I won't deny you that fact too. And I've told you many times, I am Mayegun, I never change that name. Because I am not an attention whore. You get that now? So you may like me in the morning, and there's possibility you won't like me by evening. So if you have liked Mayegun all this while, and somehow it has made you so uncomfortable now, you are welcome to the party. So let's talk about the latest from Onokpasa. Mr. Jesutega made a video when Thiefnubu announced Bulaba as his spokesperson. That got to him so much that he made a 6-minute or 7-minute video where he expressed himself and his disappointment. How Thiefnubu used them and dumped them, and how his supporters felt used as well. Like how his supporters are so sad that rather than them being rewarded, despite all their sacrifices for Thiefnubu, they felt so betrayed and let down. Well, that cry is not really over. And I kind of have my own, it's like I have this, feeling that those who are pushing Mr. Jesutega Onokpasa to go ahead or go on the media run, they are likely those who rejected the Bwala in the first place. Daniel Bwala, the same guys who demoted him within 24 hours of him being signed on as one of the sellers for Thiefnubu, right? But that is where we are going to start this afternoon. Okay? It was a guest on the program with Charles on Arise News last night, where he expressed further his disappointment in Thiefnubu's choice. He even called on him to sack him now, or else they will show Thiefnubu in 2027. I don't know if they have an idea that only people will make come to 2027. We actually have a chance, or we have a chance to take a shot at Thiefnubu. Then there is this other sort of a trending, and I believe it's intentional though, right? Trending misrepresentation again that the Igbos don't sell their lands to strangers. This has been debunked severally. But when Ruben Apati decided to push that again, I sense an agenda. And see, every time the conversation like that comes up, we have had the non-Igbos who either served as NYSC core members in Eastern Nigeria, or they have actually lived there, run businesses there, and they are non-Igbos. Every time their story pops up to say, no, this is not true, don't generalize this and that, people tend to ignore such messages to amplify the ones that says they don't sell their lands to strangers. So we are going to touch on that today. Okay? Well, let's start with Mr. Onokpasa, the first part.
Yeah, this is a serious black eye. Dear and beloved president stabbed all of us, his staunch supporters in the back with this absolutely ridiculous, meaningless, and just inexplicable appointment.
So what do you think brought on this appointment?
I don't know.
That you see as an act of betrayal?
Some of his, it has totally riled our party. Some apologists. You know, I'm a Tinubu supporter. I'm not a sycophant. Those who apologize for everything, who apologize for everything, they say it's strategy. I think it's stupidity. You know, it makes people who walked. You know, we won this election, the last election, with the lowest margin since 1999. Every other president has won by more than 50% of the votes, Charles. We won with less than 40% of the votes. So for me, well, as a Catholic, I believe it's just the will of God.
That may be the reason why he wants to form a broader base.
Yes, a broader base by stabbing his supporters in the back and bringing in people who insulted. How do you call a president of a country a drug dealer? I mean, Daniel Bwala is a lawyer. He has no evidence, not a shred of evidence, that our president is a drug dealer. He called him a drug baron. Then how does a president now appoint such a person? We were the ones defending him. Then this person who called our president, collective president, that's the president God gave us, called him a drug dealer, you make him your spokesman. Then Bayo Ononuga tries to rationalize. It's just ridiculous, Charles.
I mean, what is your main gripe? Is it that Mr. Bwala's appointment is bad for the president's image and his PR, or is it that the jobs are being taken away from Mr. Tinubu's supporters who campaigned for him, like yourself, and being given to people like Mr.
First of all,
Bwala, who campaigned against him, or is it both?
First of all, not all of us want appointment. Not all of us need appointment.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what your gripe is. Right.
It's just the insult that our president seems to take us for granted. He does not feed us. I've never gone to Tinubu's house to sit and start waiting for him to give me anything. Never. There are those who do that. Not all of us do that. Some of us just love, and for me, in fact, I even like the president as if he's a family member. I don't know why, and that is why it's really, really hot. That my president just behaved as if he can stab anyone in the back, disgrace anyone, humiliate anyone. I mean, I don't. Bwala helped Atiku Abubakar to fail in 2003, and he will help Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu to fail in 2027.
Is that a prediction from you then?
Of course, unless he has to. We can't tolerate this. You see.
You say you can't tolerate it. Clearly, this particular appointment has gone down like a sort of lead balloon for you. I mean,
no, for all of us in our party.
But you're clearly not happy about it. Do you intend to fight it, or is this the extent of your protest?
Not at all. No, we can't tolerate it. You see, Ashiwaju has to respect. Well, we are politicians. We are Nigerians. We are citizens. We have rights. Now.
Yeah, but the president has a right to appoint whoever he wants to.
Who cares? We also have a right to hire and fire a president.
So you're going to work against him then in 2027?
No. He has to rescind this appointment.
Well, how would you hire and fire him if you're not working against him?
Well, let that time come. I support my president.
He's a very funny guy. And I won't lie to you, right? He's one of the mumus, elderly mumus, that really does really crack me up. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's because of the way he talks or what he says or all of the above. It does crack me up. Okay? And I get it. I understand where it's coming from. It is like Thiefnubu poking their eyes. And I did say something about that, a few days ago when I said that except for Ronukus who are putting a premium price on themselves or value on themselves, thinking they actually have real value, but they don't. See, if you have people who already willingly accepted your bullshit, so to say. Here you get. You don't have to, without convincing them, without kind of doing anything, and they are willing to lick your ass and all of that. Yeah? So you don't really have anything much to really do to convince them anymore to stay. They already did that willingly. We call them the voluntary slaves. So the voluntary slaves have chosen to lick your ass. So you would rather gravitate towards others who can't stand you, the ones who can't really, stand your bullshit, right? So you will try to do everything to get their attention, possibly to win them over to yourself. You don't go ahead and be convincing people who have already volunteered to be ass lickers, like, the mumus, your own natural mumus. So every time I listen to him, it does crack me up. Okay? But there is this extensive conversation on the matter. This one is a longer one, and because of our time, So I think we should just get down to it. All right, because we still have a kind of a lot of gist this afternoon. Okay, so Onokpasa continues why he believes that Thiefnubu's decisions, they are not strategy, they are stupidity. And he kind of strongly believed that Thiefnubu is a stupid person. And they will teach him a lesson in 2027. You didn't make him president. I mean, people need to get that into their heads, okay? Yes, there were those who went on to actually lined up to vote for Thiefnubu. But throughout that year, 2023 charade, Thiefnubu no scored 2 million votes. Even Kwakwansop had more votes than Thiefnubu if they have to kind of like count the foolish people, the voluntary slaves, okay, who went to the poll who were actually thumbprinted for Thiefnubu, they no reach 2 million. But no thanks to Mumudu Yakubu, the one that allocated vote to everybody. Allocated and say, you have 8.9 million. This one you have 6.9 million. This one you have 6.1 million. You have 1.2 million. Person that was announcing election results that he can't really back up. That is even up to now. If you go to the INEC website, where they were supposed to have uploaded all the results, this is like 2 years after, I mean, February. That's like 2 years, 9 months after. They still haven't uploaded the full results that they declared for Thiefnubu up to this day. They haven't. Because it doesn't exist. It's just manufactured figure. So don't ever think that because you are screaming Akobi, Ashiwaju this, Ashiwaju that, Thiefnubu this and that you actually brought him into power. You did not. He told them in the northern delegate that visited him, he told them, I bought this seat, I bought this presidency. So don't come here and threaten me with, we won't vote for you, we won't support you again. No, you never really supported me. So now that he did that when he didn't have power, now he has the power over you to appoint, to fire and to hire and fire. Now how they make yourself feel like higher rights. But again, he's a guy that does crack me up. He may not really be somebody of your own liking, okay? But like we say in Yoruba land, you get that? It's easier to look at a lunatic dance naked in the market. Like you may be seen and be laughing, but you do not want that lunatic, that way to be a member of your family. Because if he's a member of your family, you won't be laughing. Right? So we'll go listen to Onokpasa again in the studio of Arise Television, Arise TV, with Charles. Please.
Tinubu's house to sit and start waiting for him to give me anything. Never. There are those who do that. Not all of us do that. Some of us just love, and for me, in fact, I even like the president as if he's a family member. I don't know why. You know, and that is why it's really, really hot. That my president just behaved as if he can stab anyone in the back, disgrace anyone, humiliate anyone. I mean, I don't trust him anymore. I'm sorry. I don't.
Right. What I'm wondering is whether this response from you is a full-scale reprisal, because, I mean, if it was, you'd probably renounce your support for the president.
No, I still support my president.
Well, you said you don't trust him anymore. That's a form of renunciation.
Yes, but he's still my president.
But if it was a full-scale sort of reprisal, you would probably also resign from the APC.
No, I won't.
So this is more of a calibrated response.
Yes, but our party is our party. I can't remember the name. My president, right or wrong, that's not my philosophy. But I still support my president. It's just that it's clearly clearly totally misguided, and he's just doing things that he thinks things will help him in 2027. And I was on a, we are, you know, you are not a politician, so you won't be members of such platforms. Somebody said that it is strategy, and I said no, it's stupidity. Bwala helped Atiku Abubakar to fail in 2003, and he will help Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to fail in 2027.
Is that a prediction from you then?
Of course, unless he has to. We can't tolerate this. You see.
You say you can't tolerate it. Clearly, this particular appointment has gone down like a sort of lead balloon for you. I mean,
no, for all of us in our party.
But you're clearly not happy about it. Do you intend to fight it, or is this the extent of your protest?
Not at all. No, we can't tolerate it. You see, Asiwaju has to respect. Well, we are politicians. We are Nigerians. We are citizens. We have rights. Now.
Yeah, but the president has a right to appoint whoever he wants to.
Who cares? We also have a right to hire and fire a president.
So you're going to work against him then in 2027?
No. He has to rescind this appointment.
Well, how would you hire and fire him if you're not working against him?
Well, let that time come. I support my president, but he just has to respect all of us in this party.
What about the appointment of other non-APC people, like, for instance, Bianca Ono, who's now a Minister of State of Foreign Affairs?
There's nothing wrong with Bianca.
I mean, she's from an opposition party, but that doesn't get your goat.
No, it does not, because Bianca never insulted us, never disrespected us.
Right.
Bianca is the wife of our dearly departed brother Odumegiu Ojukwu. In fact, Bianca's appointment was, I would say, is the strategic one. You know, it's a. You see, the way we formed this.
So that makes more sense to you,
by far,
as a strategy.
Yes,
right.
Because no, it's not strategy. It's to unify the country. If you look at this, our government, it's really freaky. And many of us have not, just maybe because of our love for Asiwaju, we've not been complaining about it. I mean, where are the Niger Deltans in the government? Where are the Igbos in the government? Where are the Hausa Fulanis in the government? We won, even in Yorubaland, we won in Ekiti, we won in Ondo, we won in Enugu. Where are those people? You form a government of Lagos and Osun, where you lost? I mean, what an insult.
So what is your, I mean, let me just clarify what your position is now in terms of your support for President Tinubu. I'm not talking about on a personal,
I support
politically.
I support my president, but I'm very, very, very angry with him.
Right. So beyond this move of appointing Mr. Bwala being badly thought, I mean, it's not just Mr. Bwala, because you're mentioning a lot of other things.
He has to sack Bwala.
Yeah, but what about the other things you talked about? You talked about the other appointments that have not been made, and that it's essentially a government of Lagos and Osun State.
Well, that is up to him. If he feels that he has, my president feels he has conquered everyone, conquered everywhere, we shall see what will happen in 2027.
What about his policies? I mean, I know you're a big advocate of trying to make the situation of the poor in Nigeria better.
Of course.
Are you seeing that in his policies?
Not at all. Not at all. That's even, it's the strange part. What, you know, Asiwaju is actually, in fact, Asiwaju is confusing us. Asiwaju is someone that, if you are around him, you can't be somebody being hungry. He's a nice guy. He hates someone being hungry around him. So it's so strange that he seems to be comfortable with hunger.
When you say hate, so you mean that he tries to alleviate that person's hunger?
Yes,
right, okay.
He does that. He takes care of people. That's why I love him. Now, he does not take care of me. I take care of myself. God takes care of me. Asiwaju has never given me one kobo. I don't owe him anything. He's the one that owes me something. Now, then we now form a government and prices keep increasing. Our citizens hardly have food to, can hardly afford food. Okay, what was our plan? We massively produce food for Nigerians. And the whole idea is this. If, for instance, if we can't reduce fuel prices, let us reduce food prices. Let our citizens just be able to eat. I was talking, Charles, to a professor of psychology. And I asked him a question. This is something that has never happened to me. What would a man feel if in the morning he wakes up and he can't feed his children? And he said the man will feel
worthless.
That is it. You just got it. And that's how many of our citizens are feeling, Charles. And then we buy cars, 250 million naira. We wear wristwatches, 200 million naira. We can't take tractors to villages. They called us Agbadorians during the election. And okay, you call us Agbadorians, you will eat the Agbado. When you eat the Agbado, are you not an Agbadorian with us? No plan, nothing. Nothing. I don't know, those two guys he put in Ministry of Agric, I don't know, they have no plan to feed anybody, perhaps other than themselves. In fact, it's a disgrace, and I'm not sorry to say.
So just returning to the issue of Daniel Bwala, do you think there could be political ramifications for the president that it's likely to cause more serious political ripples going forward, or you think it's just going to play out?
No, it won't play out. This one, Achiwaju has gone too far. He has insulted us enough. Seriously. He's really insulted. I'm still a Baptist. I don't know why I love him. He has insulted us too far. This one will not play out.
So beyond being sort of badly thought out as an appointment, from your point of view, this sounds like a threat to you.
Not at all. Ooh, Bala, can Bala even look me in the face? It's not an issue to me. It is an insult to all our party supporters. You see this election, let's take our supporters in the East. They became endangered species during the election. They still supported us. They still supported Achiwaju. What has Achiwaju done for them? How do you run a government like that? What has Achiwaju done for Niger Deltans? What has it done for Hausa Fulani? They voted for us. What has it done for the Middle Belt? Nothing.
So if he gave you an appointment now,
I will reject it. I don't trust him anymore.
Right. So
I just support him. I just love him, but I don't trust him anymore.
See, that's what I said about him. When you listen to him, he always kind of go everywhere. You understand? And sometimes he will sound pretty much like a total novice, like innocent idiot. Here you get now. Like somebody who is just like an innocent mumu, who just love, according to him, he just loves Thiefnubu. Number one, he hasn't been to his place to beg for food. But he knows that, oh, Achiwaju just, he feed people. He doesn't like to see people hungry around him. And that is why I love him. Then, why is he not doing the same? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't even know the people he put in the agricultural sector as ministers. They cannot feed us. They cannot feed the people. All of us were called Agbadorians. Today, we can no longer even afford Agbado. So, on one hand, Thiefnubu is not just a very stupid person with his appointment choices. Thiefnubu is not a strategist. He is a stupid person. And then his policies are totally anti-people. So somebody like Onokpasa, who defended and said it wasn't Thiefnubu that increased the price of petrol, or it wasn't Thiefnubu that removed subsidy. He said it was Bokuwari that did not budget for subsidy. So it wasn't Thiefnubu. And then he wants the price of food to come down. So Thiefnubu should make a pronouncement. Oh yeah, price of food, come down. And it will come down. And everybody will just be able to afford their food. So that's why I said that he's like an innocent fool or innocent idiot. Or maybe he's just acting like that anyway. You know? So Onokpasa is disappointed in Thiefnubu in a nutshell. And he strongly believes that Thiefnubu is no longer representing the people that stood by him by running the Lagos kind of a government at the national level. So to start the reconciliation, Thiefnubu must first sack Bulaba, Dani, which is likely not going to happen. And that is a deal breaker for that old man. Onokpasa is over 50, by the way. I think it's like a 56 or 57. He's not young. Yeah. But the media in Nigeria sort of find him, hilarious to be interviewed. Sort of. Or they even asked him about Simon Ekpa. Here is what he told them. Mind you, okay, I'll play it first.
In the case of Simon Ekpa, his arrest is overdue. In fact, I had even, well, this is classified. I had actually even encouraged that he should be shot because he was killing his fellow.
You can't
Igbos.
shoot someone without trying them. You're a lawyer.
No, you can't. You can't. If
yeah, you'd be liable if you did.
No, if the person is an enemy combatant, is liable to be shot. I know the law.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that you're advocating for him to be shot.
No.
But you have to have
incontrovertible
evidence. He's alleged to have done things.
Yes, no problem. But
right.
this is just intelligence stuff. It's just a crazy, poorly educated young man. If that's in that case, I am in full support of his arrest.
Nuisance, Lele.
Onokpasa, I told you, he's a crackling, innocent idiot. But right now in Nigeria, the talk everywhere is mostly about the arrest of Simon Ekpa, in which some of his followers, like I said from the beginning, they have besieged my platform to call me names, and the fanciest one of the names they call people like me, who is a Yoruba man, is that I am an Afonja. Yeah, Afonja, a betrayer. I don't get any deal with, with Una. So there's no point in me betraying you or whatever it is. I just had to tell you the truth. The truth that is so inconvenient by all means. A lot of you love to live in denial. And it's not new. It's just so unfortunate that so many of you who support violence love to ask stupid questions all the time. On this platform, in this diary, you will see loads and loads of conversation and expose on the culpability of the criminal politicians in Eastern Nigeria, sponsoring the killings in Eastern Nigeria. And yesterday, when I made mention of the arrest of Simon, I categorically pointed it out to some of you. For those who get sense to reason, they agreed that you don't glorify terrorism against your people and claim to be fighting for them. Some of them actually came to ask me, like, I've been asked so many stupid questions. And because I know that a lot of you are currently grieving, and there are 5 stages of grief. All right. The first one is denial. That was what it was for some of you yesterday. No, he can't be arrested. It's not possible. He's a prime minister. It's this and that. Or he's going to give you Biafra. Or he's going to announce Biafra on the 2nd. You are just jealous. Some said I am actually jealous. Jealous of Simon. Eh? So the point here is this. You cannot fight for people or claim to be fighting for people and then be promoting terrorism against them. That the criminals in Eastern Nigeria, to start with, profiling the Igbos, militarizing Eastern Nigeria, which is also evident, does not give you or anybody the right, okay, to justify terrorism against your people. A caller called onto this program last night, and among other questions I asked him, I said, does that mean that if I'm an Igbo man and I don't agree with Biafra, like I don't want Biafra, does that mean that I've got to be killed? If I chose not to sit at home, right, which should have actually been voluntary. If I said, okay, I don't want to sit at home, does that mean that it is a death sentence for me? Well, he said yes. And I'm like, how is that then freedom? There are some of you who have besieged every social media. Currently, you are living in denial. Some of you are angry. Some of you are already bargaining. Some of you will be depressed very soon. You will face depression. Then later, you are going to face acceptance. You don't fight for people by terrorizing them. And you don't justify terrorizing your people because some are even asking me stupid questions like, hey, when they are killing the Igbos, all this why, was this Simon? No, we are not denying that. And we are saying that if you are going to put together an army to fight those who are terrorizing your people, then it will be ideal if you start going after them in their barracks, like you go to the barracks where they have, where they are committing or where those who are committing that crime are. You don't turn your guns on civilians and then go on social media, glorifying it, celebrating it, and then telling the people that you've told them to sit at home. We've told you to sit at home. You obey. When we tell you something, you obey. What kind of free country is that? In your mind, is that going to be like a free Biafra? If you have your Biafra, it's going to be a country where, like North Korea, if they disobey your supreme leader, be your prime minister, it is death sentence. So all the atrocities committed by Simon Ekpa and his guys cannot be whitewashed simply because, oh, the Nigerian army, they are killing our people, the Nigerian this and that. But you are not going after the Nigerian army. You know their barracks, Abi, don't you? You are not going to government houses where the criminal politicians who are sponsoring the initial unknown gunmen, you are not going to government houses. You go to remote villages, remote communities. You will unleash terror on them. You will video that, put it on social media. And then you turn around and claim that you are fighting for them. So you can abuse me. You can even stop watching Mayegu. But it won't stop me from telling you the truth to your faces. Because some of you are not only just stupid and useless, you are actually like heartless too. Bunch of criminals. You don't fight for people by terrorizing them. Then you don't justify your act of terror by saying that, but these people are killing us now. But I haven't seen you gone to their barracks to attack them. You know? So I have received a lot of messages, abuses, and they are still coming because I need to get you out. And I'm actually helping you. I remember when Adeyika Grandiose started, it was this, eloquent, admirable guy that hid his own schizophrenic mental problem behind fighting for Yoruba. Then, boom, he started his attack on the Igbos using social media, inciting violence against them. There were Yorubas who agreed with him because, yeah, We have all these kind of lunatics in every ethnic group in Nigeria. He agreed. So if you disagreed with Adeyinka Grandiose, you are considered as a bastard. It must have been Fulani that impregnated your mother. It must have been, like, if you disagree with, you guys are so low lives. You're a bunch of low lives if you don't have anybody to tell you. That when somebody disagree with you, if it's a woman, you begin to call them Ashewo. You begin to call them Akuna this, Ashewo that. You have no clear ways of engagement. Once anybody disagrees with you, they are like what? Ashewo, their mama, you know, my mama said I be Igbo. We all know that you are not Igbo. You are a Fulani descendant. You are a Fulani this or that. Those are the symptoms of people with a low brains, low mentality. And Simon fed so much. He fed through your ignorance and your stupidity for so long. I'm telling you this because I'm saying it to your faces. Some of you are currently, like I said, you are living in denial. Don't worry, you are still going to get to the stage of anger. Anger, very angry. Then after getting angry, you're also going to get to the stage of bargaining. Okay, maybe these people are trying to stop our Biafra. Maybe this then after that, you are going to get to the stage of depression. Everything is just going to tire you. Then after that, acceptance. Acceptance is when you will now know that self-determination struggle will lead to what is called a physical referendum. And it has to happen physically, not online. And there will be what is called those who are against and those who are in support. You don't kill them because they are against it. Referendum is a democratic process. So when you have people who are preaching hatred, so there's nothing you will say to me. Look at me very well. There's nothing you will say to me that majority of you have not said to yourselves. You have said a lot worse to yourselves because some people are not agreeing with Simon. Others are agreeing with him. You've called them names. You've called them enemies of Biafra. You've called them saboteurs. And you've actually wished death on them. To the point that you've celebrated the innocent Igbos that were shot and killed. And you are denying. Some of you are actually still denying. Is this Simon that is killing Kinikon? I'm not saying that there are not the militarized zone of the eastern part of Nigeria, which we condemn and we continue to expose. But if you believe that anybody that disagrees with you deserves to die, don't worry. And go touch you too. Stay in far away places where you are pretty much safe. Your family, your children, some of you are living abroad. And you are celebrating the terrorism of your people online. And you think you have a life. Don't worry. Some of you are waiting for him to be released maybe tomorrow or next or what have you, so that you can say, yes, our prime minister is back. Some people who were supporting Adeyinka Grandiose, they were the same. They used to come onto my platform too. Because to them, I must be an Omoale. It must be Fulani that impregnated my mother. Okay? I must have been, you know, there is no name they didn't call me. But that didn't stop me saying the truth to them. Okay? That you are fighting for self-determination shouldn't make you a lunatic. It shouldn't make your schizophrenia to get out of hand. You cannot kill the people you are claiming to. You cannot terrorize them. So, and you know, some of you know lives as well. You love to deny. That makes it even worse. On the one hand, you will be celebrating this, your water nonsense that you are doing online. Then on the other hand, when you are supposed to be heard, when they want to hold you responsible for your madness, you begin to deny it. Oh, it's the government, it's the DSS, it's that is sponsoring it. I've told you before, a time is going to come that you are probably going to even attack Nnamdi Kanu. The one that you are using the excuse to say the reason why you are fighting or killing people is because of Nnamdi Kanu. They locked Nnamdi Kanu up in Abuja. None of you had the audacity, the strength, the mentality to go and terrorize Abuja. You are terrorizing your own people. You are forcing them to sit at home. Sit at home. We told you to sit at home. Sit at home. You bunch of lunatics. I've kind of given you that time enough. So when Adeyinka Grandiose was doing his madness, When Adeyinka Grandiot was doing its madness, there were those supporting him. I personally sent him a message that, Baba, this whole thing you did do no make any sense. So. But he was enjoying it. Social media, you see this social media is like a drug. I promise you, it's like drug. Once you get high on it, you become an addict. The attention war, attention addict. That's exactly what Simon turned to. I called him a content creator. Some of you idiots, you are abusing me. Your prime minister, don't talk to our prime minister. You are so deranged that it is unbelievable. Simon is Simon, a content creator on social media. That's who he is. You guys are just so dumb and stupid enough to follow the drive up to this point. And it wouldn't have been anything that you actually believed that somebody is going to declare a country online that you will hate. I know a lot of you actually hate me right now. You are looking at me like, oh God, this Mayegun. Oh, this. In fact, you are telling yourself that maybe I am pretending to be in support of a Biafra. I'm not in support of lunacy, because most of what you guys are doing is total lunacy. This is not real. This is unbelievable. That in this 2024, you have somebody sitting in front of a camera like I am seated right now, backing orders at you. And as grown up as some of you are, you actually like believing that to the point that you are willing and supporting the killings of your own people back in that place. People that are already profiled, terrorized by the states. You are adding to that. And you are now possibly so looking for somebody to vent that your rage on, somebody to show that your anger on, and the rest of that. Some said that, I mean, we know that you don't like Simon. What does liking or not liking have to do with this? Did Nnamdi Kanu beg anybody to like him before some of us saw through his genuinity for years? Nnamdi Kanu no tell you, say, you go to listen to Mayegun as well. Did I turn myself to a, attention war? Or turn myself into, I am disciple of this. I am, you guys are unbelievable. And it wouldn't have mattered if you haven't taken it to the violent stage, sponsoring terrorism against your people, funding it, buying weapons for some other drug addicts, screaming, this is Biafra Liberation Army. This is the, burning properties, shooting civilians. And you're saying that they deserve it. They deserved it. They disobeyed Simon, your prime minister, His Excellency. I was watching the broadcast. I think it was on Dr. Damage's. Yeah, I stumbled on it on YouTube. I think it was a few days ago. Your Excellency, sir, thank you so much for fighting for us. You are so deluded that, honestly, Simon is so lucky. But it got into his head. It got into his head so much that he actually probably started seeing himself as a prime minister of a country online. Nnamdi Kanu said, cut down all this violence. Una twisted it. I know he's not talking about you. In fact, if Nnamdi Kanu come out tomorrow and tell you to stop, it simply means what? He has compromised. Yeah. If now you will obey somebody from DSS detention. People were asking me that questions. It's unfortunate, though, but as I said, this is your grieving stages. Okay? So it is not about what somebody wishes on him. It is actually what he brought upon himself. And some of you who have been sending him money as well, you better look your back or watch your back, as they say. Because what you have done is that you have been funding terrorism in Igboland. And you don't even have to agree. Yeah, you don't have to agree. You can abuse me. You can say, see, there's nothing you will say to me that you haven't said worse to yourselves. You called Nnamdi Kanu's wife, Ashewu. God damn it, man. And there are so many of you who still produce that, and some of you look like adults. You look like people who are supposed to be responsible. In this whole thing, Anyone who doesn't agree with your style, who doesn't agree with your lunacy, that person is sabo, is afonja, is enemy, is jealous of you, is this or that. Can you sit back and just reflect on your lives and just reflect on so many of this nonsense that you have actually supported? Just sit back, think for just a few minutes, and tell yourself that it makes sense to unleash terror on the people you claim to be fighting for. You're not fighting for anybody. And let's see, if you are one of his followers watching me right now, Simon is not fighting for you, but maybe you've convinced yourself that he's fighting for you. Any freedom that doesn't give you a choice to either accept or reject is not freedom. You are just lunatics. Okay? Call me names. It's all right. It's social media. Right? The thing is this. Inciting violence is a crime in this part of the world. It's just going to be a matter of time. Inciting violence. I mean, why would you be so comfortable, by the way, to keep watching your own people slaughtered? And this is not just from the hands of the state. It's coming from these drug addicts with guns, screaming Biafra. You tarnish the image of a noble cause, and you are irredeemable. A lot of you are irredeemable, and I know it. You are totally irredeemable. So maybe if they let him out, maybe, and the 4 others arrested with him. I mean, I remember this guy. I think that was like 2 months ago. I bet those ones have accepted they've gotten to the stage of acceptance now. Sho Achaba, or whatever his name is, the one from the Southern Cameroon. The people of Southern Cameroon have faced serious state-sponsored marginalization too. It's like the Biafrans in Nigeria. The Cameroonian army, they have unleashed serious terror on the people of Southern Cameroon until the separatist movement of the Southern Cameroon, right, emerged. And their own leader too, something Achaba or something Ayaba or whatever. He lives with his family in Austria also. He too was everywhere, fuming on social media, okay? Raising money, sending money to drug addicts, giving guns in the name of we are fighting, we are breaking away from Cameroon. At the end of the day, they have caused even more death, attracted the worst of the worst Cameroonian, soldiers and the rest of them to the southern parts, killing innocent people. That's what they achieved. They didn't bring peace. They did not push away these Cameroonian soldiers. Rather, they actually brought more. Yeah, they killed soldiers there too. And their soldiers have unleashed worse terror on their people in southern Cameroon. The guy lives in Europe. He won't go to Cameroon because he's afraid to die, like Simon. He will never go to Biafra land because he's afraid to die. But with his camera, like I am seated here now, and then, social media handles, and then the ass slickers, praise singers, like some of you who are here right now, that makes them feel so important, so important, right? So they could back others. It was also picked up 2 months or so ago. Initially, his own supporters were saying he was only invited. They will release him in the next few hours. Austria is not like Africa. They follow the law. Yeah, they do. Once you get to know what these guys have been involved in, there are a lot of you are going to get to that stage of acceptance. You are going to accept. So every day now, right, I am going to keep reminding you. So you better go and start making other names you are going to call me. Call me any names and possibly unsubscribe from my channel. Okay? So you are going to get to the stage of acceptance. Adeyinka Grandiot went to jail for 4 years. He didn't even do 1% of what Simon has done to the people of Biafra land. He hasn't done 1%. He didn't do 1%. It was only inciting. And then on his computers, it was, it was researching on how to make bombs. And that earned him 4 years. His own supporters, they were abusing me on Mayegun's Diary Political. They were calling me names as well. And guess what? When it was finally, they gave him a whole year to simmer, but he didn't. He doubled down. Well, after a year, he got what he deserved. I am not saying that fighting for self-determination is, I kind of support the breakup of Nigeria. And I've told you many times, the breaking up of Nigeria is not going to be done by raising arms or shooting and killing the same people you are trying to break away from Nigeria. Breaking up of Nigeria will be determined and decided by the interested parties in that contraption. So if anybody sits online and telling you that it's going to declare a country for you, you are either so stupid beyond what anybody can imagine. And that is incurable. Okay? There was a time that a woman also, hijacked the idea of self-determination in Yoruba land. Abiola's wife, she's living in America. She was always on social media because there are so many people who, genuinely want Nigeria to break up, and they will support anything that will make that happen. And these people, so many of them are so gullible. Like some of you following Ekpa, you are so gullible that your gullibility is so contagious. You are so angry at anybody that says it to your face. So that one also gave them a date. He said she was doing a referendum. Abiola, something Onitiri. What's her name again? Dupe Onitiri. Where is she now? She gave them a date that she would declare Yoruba nation. And there were some supposedly educated, enlightened people that believed her. They called me names. They abused me like you are abusing me right now. Yeah, they did. Because I told them that, are you that stupid and daft that somebody could take advantage of your vulnerability and your gullibility on social media to tell you that they will declare a country? And then, you believe them. Anybody who tells you that doesn't make any sense, you automatically attack them, call them names. It is your agent of devil, agent of this, you are Afonja, you are Mohale, blah, 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 blah. So she did give them a date, and the day came. They are still in Nigeria. And she will possibly, like Simon has been doing, she will possibly be changing the date. Simon has been changing the date of when he's going to give you Biafra. You are so stupid enough that you will be angry at somebody like me saying it to you because you don't want to believe that it's been all scheme. You don't want to believe it. You don't like me, right? I know you don't like me right now. I know you are angry right now. Right? And so angry right now. Oh my God. Oh, this guy has been pretending. I have not been pretending. Are you mad? Are you that mad? I'm saying the truth to your face right now. Don't worry, you are still going to accept it. Of course, you are going to accept it. A very smart Nnamdi Kanu that was used to be a fireblazer like that. He ended up having to realize that for the Biafrans to leave Nigeria, there must be an understanding and collaboration of other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. You know what happened after his first arrest when he came out? He was willing to meet with everybody. He met with the Hausa, the Fulanis, the Middle Beltans, the Yorubas, because he believes that to break up this contraption, we will need one another. That's a smart move. But some of you don't think like that. You are waiting for your convention in Finland on the 29th of November to the 2nd of December. How daft these are, some of you? It is incurable. Well, what can anybody do or say to help you? So the 2nd of December will come, and this whole thing right now is a very good excuse to give to you and make you believe that, the enemies didn't want Biafra to come. They would declare Biafra in Finland. It's unbelievable. You know what people say? The Igbos are one of the smartest people on earth. And it's unbelievable that some low IQ chancer would have a lot of you under his fingertip, that you become his foot soldiers online, that will support even the maiming and killing of your own people. It's unbelievable. That are these the same Igbos that we know? The smartest Igbos? It's unbelievable. Anyway, again, like I said, a time is going to come when you are all going to accept. It's called the acceptance time. For now, you can keep denying. You can keep getting mad, angry. You can, what's the other one? You will soon begin to bargain. The bargaining one, like, okay, maybe not. Then you are going to face depression, total depression, like, oh God. Then finally you will accept that to have your own country, it will require everyone to be on ground. And by so doing, you will also going to have those who are going to be against it. It is normal. There will be people against Yoruba nation. There will be those in support. There will be people against Biafra. There will be those in support. When those in support of Biafra are more than those against, Biafra will come. When those who are in support of a Yoruba nation, they are more than those against it, Yoruba nation will come. Anything from that, is just pure stupidity. Okay? So I'm not bothered. The only thing is that it's a chance for me to possibly just clean the platform of foolish people hibernating here. Okay? So it's up to you. He is not alone. He's got his cabinet. The Biafra government in exile. His cabinet. So they will declare the Biafra Day. This is for 2024. Remember, they declared the same in 2022. Have you forgotten? Yeah, they will declare it again in maybe 2025 too. I wish you good luck. But here is a long-held, mischievous I believe, where people have used in furthering their hatred of the Igbos in Nigeria. And that is, the Igbos don't sell their lands to strangers. This is unbelievable, because we have the record of those who have lived in Igboland who are actually non-Igbos. We have those who have built their own houses in Igboland, businesses in Igboland, and they are non-Igbos. Okay? The stories abound. We have different communities like Yoruba communities in Anambra, Hausa communities in Anambra, now Hausa communities in Enugu, Yoruba communities in Enugu. You have all these other non-Igbos communities in these areas. They have Yoruba mosques in Enugu. You have Yoruba businesses in Enugu and across eastern part of Nigeria. But there is this lie where it is said that the Igbos don't sell their lands, okay, to strangers. And it all started yesterday when Ruben Apati on the same Arise TV was misjanning. Is this Okwe girl, lady that responded, though? I found a video of another self-hating Igbo. I don't know if he's Igbo, but I just want to believe he is, the way he spoke, right? Self-hating idiot who made a video and said, Igbos don't accept strangers. They don't accept other people in their region, which is not true. I mean, you will see stories of communities. Even if you go on YouTube, you will see Yoruba communities in eastern part of Nigeria who were doing their usual, like, annual, carnival, this or that. But for political correctness or political sort of agenda, this narrative, also people said most of those who spread this are pure, especially in Yoruba land, those ones who have never crossed the border between Ore and Benin. They've never left Yoruba land. They are very poor. They can't even afford any land, to buy any land anywhere, not even in Yoruba land. But there are those who kind of push this kind of agenda for some reason. Yeah, was Ruben Apati.
But he's right if he says that Igbos are entrepreneurial. And I end by what people say about Igbos. That if you enter a community, a village, you don't see an Igbo man there, please pack your things and go. It means that place is not conducive. However, let me give the flip side. Chief TOS Benson, TOS Benson, former Minister of Information, now late, on one occasion on the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, and I'm not making this up, he said it publicly. If anybody can contradict me, let them do so. He said something about Igbo people. He said he had an Igbo wife and had an Igbo daughter, that he wanted to buy land in Igbo land for his daughter, for his wife, to say, I'm getting old. TOS Benson is getting old. Let me build in this place for my wife. He said that his in-laws told him that they don't sell land to outsiders. That is the irony of Nigeria about the politics of federation, of unity. The same Igbos who are so industrious that they are all over and they do well in other parts of Nigeria. You go as a non-Igbo man to go and buy land. You will be told that you don't belong, even as an in-law. That's by way of an aside. But these are the issues, in my view.
Well, all right. We'll take another story then. 15 years later, well, I wanted to just touch more on the issues in the Southeast. Yesterday, Dr. Abati, we took this story, and there was a flurry of reactions about whether or not the Igbo people sell land to outsiders. I don't know if you would like to address that, because there were a lot of, people from the Southeast saying that it is not true.
No, I have no further comments on that subject.
Okay.
I was very clear yesterday. I was very specific. I made my point. I provided the context in which I was speaking. If people have a selective hearing, that is their problem.
Well, one of the comments is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked it.
Replay the tape again. Well, replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, that's no nonsense duty.
I think it's our duty.
If people have a different opinion, they have anthropological evidence to support it. They should say so.
Well,
it's not for me to reverse myself.
No. I was just saying to clarify.
Except you are expressing your own opinion.
No.
And then I will come after you and say you are wrong.
There's been a flurry of reactions.
Yes.
And I have to present
that
it. It
comes
is my
with
duty.
the job. That comes with the job.
It is my duty.
It's a free country.
It is my duty to present the reactions of the Nigerian people.
And not to come and challenge me.
Absolutely not. I asked you if you would like to comment. I asked if you would like to comment.
I've told you.
Well, the conversation is that a whole tribe cannot be painted with one man's experience. We'll take another story. In another development.
But he's right.
See, he's doubling down. Morafoka, Ruben Apati. So you were using one man's story that happened 40 years ago or 50 years ago. TOS Benson, that wanted to buy a land for his wife. He is their in-law, but they won't sell him land. I have heard some of these lunatics also from northern Nigeria who have also used this line to say the Igbos will say the ancestors said they should not sell land to them. But they won't tell you that in that same Igbo land, they have I don't know the name they call it, it's like a place designated for the northerners to set up their market, to build houses in eastern Nigeria. What do you call that? Please help me. What do you call that place that the Hausas, the northerners, they call it something Hausas. See, I'm going to go to YouTube. They are very smart in that regard. Tell me. The same people that will tell you that the Igbos don't want strangers. They call them strangers, outsiders. But in that same eastern part of Nigeria, oh, we call it Sabo in Yoruba land. I think that's what we call it, Sabo. Ama Hausa, or other names like Ama Hausa or Garki. Okay. Ama Hausa, is that the general word for it? We call it Sabo in Yoruba land. Areas where the Hausas have all their shops, they have some build houses there. Yeah, they build houses, they are landlords. They rent their properties to their fellow Hausas, or northerners to be precise. Director Scott, Anguna Hausa, okay. I think Ala Hausa, Ama Hausa, Sha, get what I mean? Like northerners. If you go there, these are land. Like, I don't even think they pay for the land. I don't think they usually pay for the land. It's just like allocated to them. Like, if you are looking for the in concentration of northerners, where they are mostly concentrated in eastern part of Nigeria, they have land they give to them. But this narrative of the Igbos don't welcome outsiders. Now, if you go to, for example, they say, according to the stories I have followed and verified, in Igboland, land generally is owned by, is it called the kindred or so? It's like, family owns lands. Apart from the ones owned by government, family owns lands. Which means one person cannot authorize the sale of land in Igboland, except if it is your own that you bought with your money that you want to sell. If you go to a community now, they will tell you that, you see this area, this land here is owned by so family. So if you approach me as one of the members of the family, I can't sell the land. I can't. And also in Igboland, when a family that owns this land, they
what shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
Thank you, Lord.
thank you, Lord.
Thank you,
Sorry, my audio just disappeared. I know. I hope it's back now. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's back. So from what I found, and it is similar too in Yoruba land. There are some lands that you can't really say. It's just that we have gotten to a stage or a generation where one normally in Yoruba land, we just sell the family land, take the money, disappear, go and spend the money on no one bear, go and spend, waste the money away. It is not so in Igbo land because they do not even have a lot of land. Nigeria, after the genocidal war, who now redrew the map of Nigeria, redrew the map of Igbo land, cut some of these their people into other states, right, with other tribes or ethnic nationalities to make them minorities there. They've reduced their land to this smaller space, which makes land very, very expensive in Igbo land. When I say very expensive, right? Very expensive. So you see all these factors that surrounds land in Igbo land still never stopped investors, real estate businessmen and women. Once you have the money, they will sell you the land that is available for sale. Yeah. I have never been to Igbo land that I want to buy land. But people who have served there, I'm talking about people who went there as NYSC, what do you call them? Youth corpers, who lived there for years. Some of them actually stayed back. A lot of them said the narrative that they have been hearing about Igboland changed when they got there. Some will tell you that, yeah, they experienced this hostility from some people. Others will tell you that, oh, I experienced the best hospitality of my life in this part of Igboland. It is the same. If you are a non-Yoruba, you have your own experience of Yoruba land too. There are some places that people will be hostile to you. We know they sell anything to Igbo. We don't want. We know they rent houses to Igbo. We don't give our house. You know, that doesn't mean that the Yorubas are not hospitable. So if you go to Igbo land or any other land, and some people becomes like whatever their mentality is, they say no, we don't want to have Yorubas, or we don't want Hausas, or we don't want this and that. And then you have others, majority of them, so accommodating, so hospitable, and you ignore the stories of those ones who have received hospitality, and you begin to promote the story of the minority that are showing their own, whether you call it hatred, bigotry, tribalism, or whatever it is. And Nigeria is a place where they promote that more. Oh my God, listen to this guy. He is supposed to be an Igbo man, right? Listen.
What is this lack of tolerance with the Igbos? Why is it that Igbos are not tolerant of other people? Why is it that Igbos are not welcoming to other tribes in Nigeria? Every tribe in Nigeria has woken up to the reality of this country. They've all understood the fact that no region, no ethnic group in Nigeria is an island. Igbos are claiming that they are being marginalized in Nigeria, and yet we are not doing anything to show that we do not deserve that marginalization. We are not doing anything to discourage this marginalization. We are not embracing people from other parts of the country. We want to be the president of Nigeria. We want an Igbo man to be the president of Nigeria. But we cannot we cannot welcome Nigerians from other parts of Nigeria. How is it possible? Why are we deceiving ourselves? We have IDP camps in every geopolitical zones in Nigeria. In the South, we have IDP camp. Go to Edo State, they have IDP camp there. There is IDP camp in Lagos State. Ogun State, of course. Ogun State has always been a home for refugees from every part of Africa. Ogun State, it has always been a home for every displaced persons in Africa, not just in Nigeria. There are IDP camps in every geopolitical zone in Nigeria except the Southeast. Just for once, they proposed to bring an IDP camp in Imo State, and some youth in Imo State went and burned down a national open university. Are we not aware that both refugees and the internally displaced people belongs to United Nations? They are all children of United Nations. United Nations takes care of these people. United Nations is aware of these people's existence. It is the primary responsibility of United Nations to protect and provide for these people. And you want Biafra, but you cannot receive internally displaced people in your home. What kind of case do you want to make in United Nations so you can have your own country when you are so inhuman, when you are so intolerant, when you are not welcoming to people who are victims of circumstance?
Nuisance, Lele.
I have heard that is one of the Buhari Shukus. You remember when I used to call out the Buhari Dins, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Shukus, the Ngozi Haris, the Nneka Haris. Some said, there is no Buhari Shuku, Mayegun. There is, I said, you see, you have no idea that there are those who are APC, Egbeke-based members in the eastern part of Nigeria. And you know their own campaign strategy is to self-hate. It is to endorse all the negativity things they said about the Igbos. Because they are those people called pick me. You know those ones that are like, I am Igbo, but I love Nigeria. You get that? The ones that are always are going to be on the side of the murderous regime of Nigeria. Because by so doing, it is rewarding. They believe they will be protected. They have a chance for political, for political promotion. They are in Igboland. There are those that will deny Biafra. There are those that will promote the killings of Biafrans too. As long as Nigeria can reward them, make them governors, make them ministers, senators, and all that, you know, political patronage. That's one of them. The internally displaced persons that he's talking about, to start with, is an aberration and then a complete insult to the people of Eastern Nigeria to start with. The internally displaced persons, they are not from Igboland. They are not from Imo State, and they are not from any part of Igboland. They are bringing internally displaced person from Borno. The entire Borno state and the landmass of Borno state is more than half of the 5 states of Eastern Nigeria. They couldn't build IDP camp for them there. Niger State is bigger than the entire eastern part of Nigeria. They didn't have, what have you there? These people have no cultural, language, or traditional affiliation with the people of Eastern Nigeria. So if you really want to help the internally displaced people, why transfer them from thousands of kilometers away from their base to come and lodge them in a building in the eastern part of Nigeria? So what people were saying then was that the eastern part of Nigeria does not deserve international airports. They don't deserve international seaports. They don't deserve motorable highways that run through all their cities. They don't deserve 24 hours electricity, or they don't deserve modern rail system, but they deserve IDP camp. It's an insult. The people you are bringing, the place you are bringing IDP camp to is so smaller that it could be fitted into one local government. They can say, they can say the entire Imo state can be fitted into one single local government in northern Nigeria. The whole state to no more than one local government. And the agenda that everybody knew about, and why. It's not just the Igbos that rejected that. Even non-Igbos rejected that insult. But a self-hating Igbo made a video to say the Igbos are not tolerant. So because they won't take IDP, other people who are living in Imo states, non-Igbos who are living in Imo states, making money in Imo states, living there for decades. Some people have been living there for decades. Nobody ever reminded them that they are non-Igbos until these lunatics of APC, until they appeared in our lives. The Were also made a video, which I want you, the Igbos watching this broadcast, to please tell me if it is true. I know he's lying though, or is making the whole nonsense up. But I decided to bring it to you today. Kindly tell me what this is.
The reason why Igbos don't sell land to strangers. Let's even talk about it, because this is a fact and this is also a misconception. Igbos don't sell land, not just to strangers. Igbos don't sell land at all. Before now, in Igbo land, land is God. We worship land. We call it Ane. Ane is God of justice. Land is beyond an item. We worship it. It has a deep religious meaning for us. When you are seeking for justice, it is Ane, the God of justice, that you will cry to and you will get justice. So because of this, it is almost a taboo for anybody to sell land in Igboland before now. In fact, there is a very serious stigma that is attached to selling land in Igboland. Any family that is used to selling land is seen as a useless family. When somebody wants to bury his loved one and then he sells land to be able to raise funds to bury his loved one, it is assumed that he is burying two people. There is this understanding among Igbos that when you sell land to raise money to do business, that money will eventually vanish. That money will become useless. Before now in Igboland, or even till today in Igboland, when you use your land as collateral to borrow money and you go and marry with that money, the person that borrowed you that money will not return your land to you. Because when you marry that your wife, she will give you children, and those children are as valuable as that land. There is a deep religious attachment to land in Igboland. As a matter of fact, when you want to sell land, you will have to approach your homeowner first to see who is going to buy from them. And when they now refuse, you look for somebody in your community to sell to. So when they say Igbos don't sell land, it is not like we don't sell land to Yoruba people or Hausa people or people from other regions. We don't even sell land at all. It is more recently that we started selling land. We worship land. Land is God of justice, Annie, the God of justice. When you read Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, you will understand the reason.
Nuisance lele.
He's saying it with so much confidence. And that's the problem. You know, the problem is that stupid people, they are very confident and loud. Intelligent people, they are very quiet and doubtful. You will see intelligent people, right? They will review things so severally. Man, am I sure that this answer that I have arrived at, am I sure this is the final answer? I know this is the answer, but am I sure? You know, I'm going to wait for somebody else to work it out and see if they will arrive at the same answer. I'm not going to just go out and say this is the answer. Intelligent people are quiet and doubtful. Foolish people, stupid people, they are very confident and loud. It is recently the God of Annie and the nonsense. And you will see his fellow foolish people, Igbos too, that will be saying, thank you, Jare, my brother, it's true. Or you will see non-Igbos who have been living in Igboland for more than 20, 30, 40 years. Who have been married, running businesses, own their own homes, and they will tell you, I bought this, I bought that when I got to Igboland. And those stories don't make it into... Go on YouTube right now as you are watching this broadcast. Go on to YouTube right now and search for Yoruba communities in Igboland. You will see hundreds of videos of interviews, you know, documentaries, parties, and stuff like that. That are non-Igbos content. But it was because APC, Ekpa came to the national politics of this contraption. We have now been dealing with identity, this, you know, me versus you versus us. You hate us, we hate you. You don't like our this, you don't, you know, all this kind of conversation, the agenda that they are pushing, left, right, and center. That's why some of us say that you better let us all just come together and agree to break up this contraption. Break it up and save lives. You know? So anyway, I have had a wonderful afternoon. So I'm going to keep the rest for later tonight. So, and I am also going to open the line. It will be your chance. And I promise you, okay, it's going to be your chance to call in and to come and say your own mind. And I know that Ekpa's people who are watching, okay, you probably will have a chance to call in. Randomly, I take calls on my Egun's Diary Politico. But I'm not going to be as nice as I was last night. Because when I see people pushing their foolish questions and stupid narratives, I am not going to be as nice as I was last night. So you better be prepared. Okay? And don't pretend that you like me. Okay? I can see through that. All right? I am not somebody who is comfortable with those who are pushing violence. I need you to remember that as well. So when you're calling into my program, I'm not going to be nice to you. When you begin to kind of push that your stupid, that your terrorist narrative, I will see through it and I'm going to cut you short there, like, hey, Alaye, I know where you are going with this, your stupid questions. This time around, I just thought I should say it. So, what do you call it? Put it that way. I think it is high time that we begin to cut the rubbish now. Okay? Thank you. Then apart from that, the line is open. All right? And when I come back, I will take calls. And if you have to leave, just like the broadcast, at least, I'll see you soon. You speak in tongue. I have my first caller on the line. If I get you right, this is Stanley. Is that right? Or did I lose you? Hello? Okay. I think I lost my first caller. I have another person on the line, and I think it's Aide. Hello?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Or did I lose you? Hello? Can you hear me? You might need to mute that broadcast in the background because you are connected now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. You need to mute the broadcast in the background. I can still hear myself.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's clearer now. How are you, Baba?
Thank you, my brother.
You're so welcome, sir.
I'm okay. I'm okay. You know, Nigeria is a crime scene.
Tell me about
it.
And
anytime you want to watch a woman who know how to mock her husband, is if anything happened between her husband and next door neighbor. That's how you will see how the woman is very aggressive. Yesterday, there are eruption of information and news, which everybody's watching. So many people watch to hear good news from Niger, outside Niger, whatever that happens about Nigerians. That's what they always watch every day. None of them, any blessing, any good thing that happened between that nation and Biafra, and nobody will escalate the good ones. But as soon as it's the bad one, they will like to escalate
it will become the news. You're
right.
right.
It become. What I know, we live in a nation that has human rights at heart and practice it. The invitation of Simon Ekpa it's not first time. It's not a new thing.
Right.
And for we to sit aside and watch the so-called Finland and the European Union and also the nation that surrounded them is to see how they will practicalize that thing we are trying to copy. This is the time. For those who feel they've been marginalized over the other side and those who has been overtaken, but everything is not in their hand, it's not in our hand. But this is the time we have to watch to see if what we are trying to copy from them is real or not.
Okay.
Some people will come in this very program in order to trigger you, to provoke you.
Well, they have been doing that.
I know.
And I've been trying to manage them as well.
It's every time. Every time you are before camera, you're a teacher and you're a learner at the same time.
Yes, sir.
They know the good word, but they will never use it. Don't allow them to push you. You are one of our national eye. I'm telling you. In all the nation, if Nigeria breaks tomorrow, there is no nation you will never go. You will never have national identification. You have dual citizenship. I'm telling you.
I'm going to say something quickly. You sound very rational as a rational person. That means somebody who believes that you can disagree to agree with people.
That is
normal, right? But you will agree with me as well that there are so many irrational followers of Simon. I'm talking about those ones that people like yourself, right, are pretty much like don't want to be heard. Would you agree with me that there are those who believe that if you disagree with us, you are enemies straight up and all that stuff?
I do agree. I do agree with you. The reason is most of that thing is not going to university made you educated somebody. There are people who go through university. There are people whom university go through them.
Well,
and traveling, when you travel outside the nation, does not mean they have acknowledged knowledge or they have learned something. Some people remain in a chaotic life they have had from time to that, and thing has no end and thing has no beginning. Do not put such people in a leading section. Do not make them a leader of a community or a leader of work. Everything will grant. He's looking for his people. He's looking for his people. That's never move a nation forward. Anybody who fit, who merited to be there, let that person be there. That's what we are working for.
That's right.
That's what we're working for.
Well, I hope
because
more of you and more like you yourself that will
as
indeed,
this,
right?
As this,
go on.
As this Biafran Nigerian Ekpa game is on now. It's on for everybody to see what's gonna happen. Nobody like.
And that's why somebody like me, see, somebody like myself has always been very clear, okay? And that is that if we
since
see
I've
what
been watching
Nigeria
you,
has done, if we see what Nigeria
since I've been watching you,
still doing, right? There's no way, there's no way that we won't see what is called for every action, there is an expected counter reaction. But what I objected to totally, which I kind of like never eat, is the fact that you cannot either directly unleashing the terror on them or promoting the terror on your people. You can't justify that. There's no rational person that should.
All those things is just ending at where? At the people are grassroots, because all of them will jump out and go and dine with. I will tell you one thing now. I don't give you one illustration.
Go on.
If you watch one of our man of God is called Eze. I'm not against him.
Right.
Jerry Eze. Watch the day he did his birthday. Watch those who made it in a high ground. If you go and watch that video,
right,
all those politicians, big men, those who destroy Nigeria, stole oil, all of them gathered, they brought that money and made that surprise party.
I remember.
In which poor people cannot even open door and come in. They don't know. That is how leadership is. That is how Nigeria is. That's how every nation is. There are people who ought to be there. But when poor man get a poor man of his type, he will just bite him like a crocodile eat a lizard on the street. which is stupid of us. It's very, very stupid of us. This your platform is a educative platform.
Thank you very much.
It's a place we have time to interact. It's a place where we have to get some information. But when people come there, they try to impose godism in it.
I mean, I'm not to some of them simply because somebody like myself, I can disagree with Simon. Simon is Simon, man. Right?
It's a human being.
Anybody's a prime minister, whatever they call him, is Simon to me.
Yes.
I can disagree with him. Even if he's a prime minister of existing Biafra, I can disagree with him. People should actually understand that.
My prime minister. I cannot disagree with him and agree with him, because if you do not disagree, you cannot come to agreement.
So
I'm telling you.
Why should people think it is a death sentence if you dare do that? That's totally unacceptable. And I think we should know that.
Let me tell you. No, people have taken it like when they took the worship we call Christianity.
Right.
Some people feel that when you stand before man of God and tell him you are doing something wrong, you have enter hellfire. Hellfire is your. It's not so. God never said it to be so. Never.
Good.
If they read their Bible very well, there will be a time. There will be a time, yeah, man. There will be a time God always call, come, I want to speak to Moses. Moses go up, they are dialoguing. That's discourse. But when, they don't see that area. Because you speak to a man of God, man of God who made certain things in order to benefit himself or herself.
Right.
But I don't want to go there.
Well,
what
is
there, my brother?
See, I appreciate the fact that, I appreciate the fact that you could still probably call in and handle it very, very manly well, okay? So we see how this whole thing play out at the end of the day. Okay, Baba. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.
Right?
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
That's a good one. So you see, it's as simple as that. I am Mayegun, and I do not possibly think that I know it all. Well, you know something? I am not a pushover too. Okay? For wherever I am today or wherever I am, I end every one of it. End everything. So if you move mad around me simply because I'm saying something about a fellow human being that you want to worship, right? Then you probably will be willing to get even more madder. I've had the religious people who have spent their days and time on Mayegun's diary political to wish me this, wish me that. It never comes to pass. I will still say the truth to your face. Even if you won't go crazy, go mad, to hell with you, it doesn't matter. I'll still say it to your face. And if you start causing nuisance, right, then we can get rid of you out of here. It's as simple as that as well. So here is MOG. Hello.
Hi, good morning from here. Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir. How are
you? Fine, thank you. You know, like the last caller said, for me, I will put it like this: your patience is top notch, you know, and we cannot agree in everything. No. It doesn't matter who that person is, and we are just, that's what it's called, stand on your feet and say what is right. Sometimes we don't need to say something for somebody to be happy. You have to say something.
You can tell me I am wrong, and I'm going to wait for you to tell me how wrong I am. Or if you want to tell me I am wrong and you begin to say, I am a Fonja, I am a bastard, I am Omuale, I'll be like, to hell with your father. Right? I'm not a pushover. I am Mayegun, the general.
Like, for example, like all the doors in Nigeria, Igbo that, Yoruba that, Hausa that, Fulani that, you could see some of them, some of Fulani, some of Yoruba, some of the Igbos will still defend other tribes. That no, it's not like that.
When they know what is right, if you want,
if you want to know them, go close to them. You don't need to be outside and be saying this and saying that. And if you are following somebody like this guy he just mentioned now, this Jerry Eze, you see the people that he called that went to his birthday party. No, in normal sense, if that guy is not in that level, they will not come. But there's an extent that that guy went to that level. There's some steps he took to be to that level. And that step he stood was to step on some people, which are the poor people. And those people are the one that made the crowd and now brought him up. Now his levels are now coming to celebrate him. So my words is that you don't need to follow people sheepishly. You have to ask questions. So this question, and you're not blind, because in my language they used to say, if a blind man doesn't understand that it's raining, it's cold, there's Hamatan, is he not feeling the cold? Understand me? So if your eyes are open, you can be able to see and use your brain to process information. If Simon Ekpa is not giving the right thing, sometimes he will talk normal one. Sometimes, but most of 80% of what he's doing
to Biafran struggle on this platform. It's not because I wanted this whatever, right? And when he started going mad, I didn't hide that.
Yeah, he went out of line. Not only you saw that, Mike. Let me tell you, the first time I burst into your program,
yep.
That was you were staying in the kitchen. Right. You was very, very hard. You were very, very harsh. I was like, for me, I said, who is this one? That was around 2013. Yep. I said, who is this? What is he talking about? Till I come down to watch you. It took me time to subscribe. Because every time I'm watching you, if you go to my phone, my old phone, I will always type my Ego Political Live. You will come. I know the time. You always come online. And before I now subscribe, getting your notification.
Saying, no, you know what? I'll just subscribe to be getting notification now. And yes. There's so many people like that. So many people never really liked my style as well, because I was so I was like very blunt before I started coming down to explain things the way I now did. Abi?
Yeah, so because of my time. See, so the last, I'm going to the last caller. Let's just, he said something. Let's just watch the justice take place and see what the laws will take outcome. That one is for me. Simon Ekpa, this thing is gone. I don't think about it. I'm looking at now. If they bring injustice to him, we will know. If they do the law very well, we will see it. We are just watching. But why I called in, especially why I called in, is because of Dr. Abati. When I saw when he was analyzing something and Oji asked him a question, and I realized that what Oji asked him is what they said yesterday or a few minutes ago. I don't know when they said it about lands, selling of land in Igboland. Dr. Abati went out of line as a presenter. He showed who he is. Yes. He was very, very angry for Oji. First of all, Oji was shocked. You know, Oji was shocked already. Oji just hold herself together because you cannot. You are a Yoruba man now. Although you say things that are bad, Yoruba people used to do, but there's a place I will paint you as a Yoruba man. You will show me that you are Yoruba first before being a Nigeria. So you can see it in Oji's face. But I hope he will apologize to Oji, not even to the viewers. Let him go and apologize to Oji, because that his character there, his action show who really he is and how his face is even. But there's a video you played, one guy with face cap. This is people we call a fulef Mayegu. That guy is what Igbo people call a fulef. For you to know, first step, he's not supposed to put on face cap. We know everywhere you go in Western world, if you want to come inside a bank, they will ask you to remove your cap from the door. Or sometimes if there's something, they will ask you to remove your cap. If you're at the airport, they ask you to remove your cap. I've never seen anybody taking an international photograph with a cap. So for him to put a cap is already it's a suspect already for me. It's suspicious. So what he said, some people will say that he said right. What he said is right. Yes, Igbo people, we don't sell land, but there's a particular land we don't sell.
You get?
And this land, in Igbo land, we call this land Aniobi. Aniobi means your ancestral land. And this ancestral land is what you, if you're a first son, there's a place they will give you. How can you sell that place? They will give it to you. And in our place, when you begin to sell land, your kindred will call you to order. And we have what they call family land. Family land is like where we go and farm. That we call it family land. They call it family land. You can sell from there. You can sell from there.
If the family agrees and gives you go ahead, you can sell.
The family we give you consent because that place
it's Yoruba land too. It's just that this culture has been bastardized in our own side. People will say family land.
When this Anobi is filled up, because the first son always get this Anobi, he can accommodate his brothers. But when the brothers are getting money, they are getting bigger, the family is getting bigger, they can also extend their family to this farmland, this family land, and that place is where they also farm. So we don't sell this land. No matter what, like this thing where you come to Lagos now, they will tell you this is your local government. This is somebody's village, and every leg will be going there because we don't bury our dead bodies, our dead loved ones in burial ground. We bury in our family. That is where we bury. So you cannot sell a land where you buried your loved ones, especially the family.
No.
Yes. And so there's some places we see that's a place you go, you will not see people having this land. We don't sell it. I was born and brought up in Enugu, but I'm from Imo State. When you go to Enugu, like somewhere like Obiago, Onasata, this is people that have sold their family land. That place is now open for everybody. Some of them, the only family house they have there is on the street, and maybe it's two brothers now. They will have up and down as their own Aniobi. So this is what we try to prevent. We have a lot of there's a lot of people that have lands, robust houses everywhere in Enugu. We sell land. If you go to street, if you go to Wheel Road now or go to New Haven, say you want to buy land, why can't they sell it? He said this place are township. It's residential area, not inside the village where you can bury your father, where you can bury your mom, where you can bury your grandfathers. We don't sell that place.
It's the same everywhere, man. Where I bury my own mom, right? It has now become, as a firstborn, it has become a family land that way. Nobody can sell it.
Yeah.
My children can sell it tomorrow and say, oh, where they buried their grandma, somebody wants to buy it tomorrow. And they will sell it. It's not going to happen.
Nobody.
But that doesn't mean that there will be no lands to be sold in that same community.
There's a lot of land to buy, not going inside somebody's village to buy land. That is why you see people, they kill for that. Yeah, they kill, they fight. Anytime you hear Igbo people fighting about land, is this Aniobi inside the village? They will do anything to keep this land.
See?
Thank you, very much.
Yes, sir. You have a good one, okay? So, yeah, I have another caller. We currently have about 40 minutes or thereabout to go. So if you still have one or two things to say, the line is open. And remember, don't call directly. It is a WhatsApp call. That's the only way you can get through, okay? Here is another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, my good.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you? Listen, I've managed to break into your calls twice, and I'm so lucky to have this second chance.
I am happy that you are on, and thank you so much for calling in.
If you remember, I'm calling from North Carolina in United States.
I think I do remember.
And I'm Prince Ezem Ihan Acho. I go by Advocate for Humanity.
I remember you. I do. How are you, sir?
Now, I'm fine, and I want to also be consistent in saying once again that you see you.
Yes, sir.
You are more Biafran than any other Biafra I know, except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you.
I want you to notice that.
Thank you.
You, Mayogun,
I am an honorary Biafran, and I hand it.
I want you to know. That your consistency tells me that you are a human being. And as far as I am concerned, you are more Biafran than any other Biafran I know, except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I need you to note that in that title. Until I have reasons to go otherwise, this is the much I can tell you about who you are. Now, going into the issue of Nigeria, if you remember, and I want to stress once again, anybody that comes to your program and say to you, this is our country, this is our nation, okay, first of all, you must know that that person has no reasoning, let alone be able to reason properly. I'm saying the person has no reasoning, let alone able to reason properly. Okay, whenever somebody says to you, this is our country, you know, this is our nation, what is wrong with it is I want you to remember that I said to you that such an individual has no reasoning, let alone proper reasoning. Why do I say that?
Tell us.
I want you to, yes, I want you to know, and if you remember, I asked you the same question the last time.
Sir.
You know what we use to treat illness is medication, isn't it?
That's right.
And you know that no matter how wonderful any medication is, once it expires, it becomes dangerous. It becomes dangerous. That's just a simple fact.
Absolutely. Yes, it's a fact.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I need you to now know that Nigeria, first of all, was a formulation of evil against a people, because what drove Nigeria was the spirit of idolatry, as well as the spirit of covetousness. These are the two spirits that drove the concept Nigeria. So, in fact, from inception, it was evil and it was bad. It wasn't even good as a medication.
No.
It was bad. Now, I want you to marry that terrible conception, okay, with expiration date that is now over 1 decade. That means Nigeria is not only evil, but it has also expired for more than 10 years. Now, the only thing I can tell you is that Nigeria is not only dead, but is toxically decayed. You know what I mean by toxically? That means anything that it comes in contact with, okay, is in trouble.
That's right.
It is a danger to even animals, let alone human beings. That means Nigeria is not fit. Nigeria is finished, and it's not fit for animals. And people are coming to debate whether, hey, you see what that man said? Oh, you see the problem with Nigeria is this. Oh, you know, if we only had good government. Oh, if we... all this nonsense. Now, let me not keep you so long by saying, when it comes to what is going on in Nigeria, can I say that it doesn't matter who kills who, whether it is Fulani or whether somebody says I'm representing Biafra, so I'm killing anybody. Anybody that is killing in Nigeria is an evil human being, because it's not killing that will solve the problem there. Anybody that is carrying arms, whether they are whatever they call themselves, is part of the evil hovering in Nigeria. The part of that evil, because anything that is taking human life is evil. It doesn't matter whether they say, oh, I'm a Biafran fighting for my freedom, oh, I'm this. It's a lie. They are all, if anything that kills, anything that is killing.
Kanu was like that, a lot of us will not touch him with a long pole.
God bless you. So I haven't got time to be giving any credence to any individual by mentioning anybody's name. I haven't got no time. I'm just telling you that anybody that is there killing under whatever guise is the evil that is being used to do harm to the whole environment, and it is part of that rottenness and toxicity of Nigeria. So I don't want to do any more in terms of saying, but I want to commend you. And I say, please keep on with what you are doing.
You are a gem, and I'm glad that you were able to get through this morning. Thank you. You see, people who need to know should know, no matter how uncomfortable the truth sounds, right? Most of us just want things done the other way. Not in this kind of a way that Nigeria always sort of, Nigeria has charted a path. and it's a path of destruction. Anyone who is dancing towards that path, right, should be said to his face, you're wrong. And if they care, they will stop. Prince, thank you so much, okay? Enjoy your money over there. I have another caller on the line here. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah,
Sir.
I'm fine. Good evening. I am Mr. George, calling you from India.
Joe from India. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. It's been a while anyway. Though I've been trying to call so many times, but I've not been successful anyway. But it's okay. Now, yeah, thank you. Let me go straight to the point because I don't want to mention, I don't want to comment on the issue of Simon Ekpa. You can't be trying to coerce your people into believing what you are dishing out on them by trying to kill them. I don't want to comment on that. Now, I want to comment on the guy that made a comment about the Igbo people selling of land and all whatnot. I know that guy is less than 50 years. Okay, let's just give him this. Okay, let's say
he's probably in his 40s, max.
Okay, let's say he's 50. Okay, now if a man of 90 years had been the one that said that, I would say yes, maybe during their era in the 50s, 40s, yes, Igbos were not selling lands, and the same goes to the Yorubas, and the same goes to other tribes in Nigeria. Those days, people were not selling their lands because things weren't as hard as it is now, and the cultures had not been bastardized. Okay, now as time goes on, I am 48, but I grew up seeing people buying land in my areas. Buying land in my areas. I bet you if you do deep investigation, you realize that that idiot that put that ring light on and said, if you go closer, you realize that even in his kindred, maybe his uncles had sold his land. If this guy had put on the camera and said, yes, those days Igbo people don't sell land, yes, maybe the man who requested to buy the land, according to Dr. Ruben Apati, maybe the man requested to buy a land that was inherited by, in Igboland, the first son, they inherit a land that must never be sold. That is a family land. That land must never be sold, no matter what. Then any other land that is closer, you can sell it. You understand? Those days, Igbos don't sell land. Those days, Igbos don't sell land. Even Yorubas, even Hausas, they don't sell land because things weren't as
land. That's the same everywhere. You inherited it from your father. He inherited from his own father, and on and on and on. It's passed down to you. You inherited it. You can't sell the land until now, where some of them don't even value those family chain anymore.
Yes. So those things are gone. But now, my brother, I'm telling you, as time goes on, things becomes harder. The population increases. Even the family land, people that things push to the wall, they sell it. You can't have a land and your problem is about to take you out. You must sell your land to solve your problems. People are selling even that family land, even that particular land that they inherited. They are selling it. So anybody saying Igbos don't sell land, they don't do this, my brother. Even 60 years ago, Igbos were selling land. People were selling land. 60 years ago, people were selling land in Igboland. So this is my contribution. Thank you so much for your good work.
God bless you, Baba, because it has to be said. Like I said, right, there are those who have these stories, and the stories of how they were indeed accommodated, helped, housed, and even got established in Igboland. These stories are available everywhere. But because of the agenda of division, the agenda of hatred, this and that, people would rather push the ones that comes back and said, oh, when I got to this village, they hated me because I'm not Igbo. The way they treated me, I had to move to another village where they now accepted me. But when you move to another village where you got accepted, right, that story doesn't sell. It is the story of where you are not treated fine. That one sells better in Nigeria. So it is an agenda. So when somebody like Ruben Apati goes on this big platform to push that kind of narrative, just know that it is an agenda. Majority of those who are going to push them, number one, they don't live in the East. They don't have any plan of investing in the East. Some of them don't even have money to buy any land. But because they've heard it before, it must be true. So let's just push it. An agenda. Well, maybe platforms like this will continue to give a lot of you the benefit of the doubt, where people can share their own personal stories of what it was like, or what you heard about the Yorubas, or what you have heard about the Igbos, and what is your personal experience too. Here, hello.
Hello, my good general.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am very well too. Thanks so much for asking. Please.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's kind of nice for me to call back.
It's such a pleasure.
This is John. Yeah, this is Johnson. I'm calling from Utah.
Johnson, I remember you. Man, there's so many of you who have turned to, you used to be regular callers, but you have all turned to the silent watchers these days. It's good to hear from you, sir. Please.
Yeah, you're right. That was like, it's good to give other people the chance to, call in.
Thank you.
And the rest, yeah.
You have a good one, Baba.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's go for it.
Okay, my good. So I think, let me see if I can be a little bit precise, because while you were talking about Ruben Apati's story, I was just laughing my heart out, because I had a friend that was during the last charade election they did in Nigeria. So this, my friend, he's Tinubu supporter. He was like saying the same narrative that Igbos doesn't sell land and everything. And I told him my own personal experience, because I bought a land in my hometown. That was like 2 years ago. And I bought like 2 plots of land. And those 2 plots of land, I bought them for 8 million. That was like 4 million for a plot of land. This is like in my home village, right? So very expensive. And if you remember my history, I told you I was born and brought up in the north. So my brother was even asking me, he was like, that amount I'm using to buy that land, that he will use that amount to buy a much bigger land for me in Abuja, but I was like, I don't want to do with anything northern again, I just I'm just buying that land because I wanted to have a structure in my village, So this, my friend, when he was saying the same narrative, I told him, I was like, if you are interested, right, I have this land, I'm going to sell this land for you. In fact, I'm going to sell it to you the amount I bought it from, exactly the same amount. I'm not adding anything.
No extra.
No interest. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you realize that he's actually not interested in buying land. He's just interested in
He doesn't even have the money. He can't even afford it. He can't even afford it. So basically, I think you are perfectly right. A lot of those people that make those assumptions, they are the actual people that don't even have the money to buy the land.
No.
This is a capitalist society, just like the previous caller said. A lot of people have different issues. If you have the money to buy land, you can buy land in anywhere in Nigeria. You can get the land.
God bless you.
Yeah. It might be expensive, right? Like, for example, my land, I said I bought it for 4 million for a plot of land, 2 plots of land, 8 million.
About, 14, 15 million today, and that's going to be you being nice. Anyway.
Yes. And can you imagine, for example, the way I am? Someone came and said, okay, I'm going to pay you 20 million for those land. I was okay, go ahead, take the land.
Where is the cash? Show me the cash.
Yeah,
I'll give you the land document right now, right here.
I'll give you the land document. I knew a guy in Lagos that time, the Abiola children. This guy owned a hospital, and he wanted to buy, that was in Ikeja.
Right.
He wanted to buy the land of Abiola. The children doesn't want to sell that land to him. You know what that guy did?
What?
He gave them a blank check. He was like, just pick any amount you want. Yes. And they sold that land to him because they saw a blank check.
See? So we have all this agenda everywhere. And I tell you this, I'm glad that a lot of people actually knows this, okay? All these people pushing this agenda, they are primarily, number one, to continue to push the old narrative which somehow, when you keep renewing it and renewing it every year, okay, it still serves the same purpose. The reason why we don't like the Igbos, or the reason why you shouldn't like the Igbos. Oh, they won't sell their land to you. Do you have money to buy land? Are you interested in buying? No, I'm not interested. Why did you just say that then? Somebody told me that. I've heard it years ago. Really? It's always an agenda, man. Agenda.
Yeah, exactly. Because on the one hand, they will say Igbos like money. They say Igbos love money. But when it comes to land, they believe Igbos don't love money enough to be able to sell land. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know,
it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
You can get you can get any land in Igboland, but that might be expensive. Yeah, but if you have the money, you can get any land you want to.
Anywhere. And I've said that as well on this platform, that the reason why land is expensive in Igboland is because they don't have many of it. Nigeria has already stolen a lot of it from them by cutting them off and cutting them into size. So whatever the space they have, right, you must have enough money to buy it. That you can't find land to buy, that is not true.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Thank you so much, Johnson. Okay, stay safe. My regards to everyone. Okay.
Yeah, keep on doing the good work you're doing, Mayegu. I appreciate what you're doing. In fact, all whatever you said today, I 100% agree to it. Even with regards to Simon Ekpa, 100% agree with you. Just to put that out.
Johnson, bless you.
Yeah.
You see, we don't really have to agree on everything. To disagree is also very much welcome on Mayegun's diary political. It is only people with low mentality, right, that will resort into abusing or attacking the person you disagree with. And the abuse is like, you are Fonja, you are jealous, you are Ashewo, you are Akuna, you are this and that. It is this is actually the symptom of people with low mentality who can't really engage in any sensible conversation. So let's put that out there as well. So if you are that kind of a person, you need to work on yourself. Seriously. Here is another caller. I believe IK. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Joseph, and I'm calling from Norway.
Sir Joseph from Norway.
Yes.
You must be a first-time caller. The way you sound.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Yes. I'm good, sir.
Right.
It's a pleasure talking to you today.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for calling in. Please.
Yeah, I just want to hit on 3 points.
Go ahead.
One is that about land in Igboland, we have commercial land and we have land that we inherit, which is inherited lands, which we don't sell. So any other land, we sell that. That is one of the points. The second thing is that people are talking of one guy that called from America that said that he's a medical doctor. He said Nigeria have expired his toxins, that is that. Yes, I quite agree with him. But when he's talking about people using arms in any direction to kill one another, I agree with him. But he never mentioned the other department of arms, people trying to defend themselves when people are killing them with arms. That is the second point. Then the third point is that when people come out to say things about them becoming more Nigeria than others, you cannot be putting hope on something that have been expired or things you have experimented for years and is not working. So if you consistently trying to force it to work, and when people are talking about I want this, I want that, and you are getting old, and the old people who are no more industrious, are no more having hope to continue their life, they want to destroy the whole thing by making it, oh, I have not been privileged, and let it continue that way. That's all I want to say. Let people know that.
People like that are part of the problem. I think under your last point, they are part of the main problem we have as well. Okay. Normally, when people get older, it should be a time for them to reflect on life generally, the one they have lived and the one they probably missed out on. So if they now, I mean, it's actually around the time when people begin to get closer, to the end of their lives. So if you look around and you look back and you're like, there's been so much that could have been done in this society, but over the time, it's never done. And the younger generation have been denying this opportunity. So it would be ideal for the older generation to support the yearning and aspiration of the younger ones who don't want to end up like them. So and some of them don't see it that way, right? But
yeah, I quite agree with you, but let me chip on something.
Quickly.
You say that in Nigeria, they remove history in our school curriculum.
Fortunately.
And from most of us that are old, what we are taught is that Nigeria have 3 major tribes.
That's right. And
since the history of Nigeria now, the 3 major tribes are not playing major role in Nigeria
anymore. In fact, they have
not even from before Nigeria independence. When Nigeria joined together, they forced it that people who are not indigenous people of Nigeria start playing major role in Nigeria. And people refuse to acknowledge that. And we continue following it and it's continue going. Where are we going to? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. So I don't know, but one day it will come to an end.
No,
nothing lasts forever.
It's almost ending now. It is almost, because we have a younger generation that is no longer patient, right? They may say we are impatient because we are worried that we have limited time on our hands. This contraption is not working, indeed. And if something is not done now, well, Sir Joseph, thank you so much, sir. Okay, for calling.
Thank you, General. I appreciate. It's nice talking to you. It's a big privilege. Keep on going.
It's mine. Thanks. Have a good one, sir. Okay. God bless you. See, I believe that, like one of my callers said yesterday, that we don't really have to agree on the same pattern on what we think can lead to the liberation of ourselves and our people. And I agree with that too, that we don't all have to agree to one concept. You can move from the left. You can move from the left. I can move from the right. Others can move from above. Others can go underground. At the end of the day, the common goal is possibly to change the status quo. And changing the status quo, right, may take all kind of dimension. I agree. But any of them that is in a way to shed the blood of the vulnerable people. Our people have been through a lot already. You get, it's something that I am totally indisposed to, like I do not feel comfortable with. And there is no explanation you can give to me on that. I would disagree. Even if you would disagree with my own approach of solitude or so, right? I still strongly believe that the people's will, if it is well maintained, is more powerful than that barrel of gun. Because you see, the people with a strong will, enlightened enough to know what they are actually fighting for. You see, holding that barrel of gun will have more value, right, than people who are angry enough to just want out. At the end of the day, it could totally be a misplaced priority that will claim more souls than necessary. But yeah, I have another caller on the line. I believe.
Hello, Michael.
Yes, sir. Chim. Amanda or what?
Yes, this is Odogu.
Hey, Odogu, I bet you will need to change that name under your what I feel. It keeps misleading me somehow. But yeah, Odogu, it's really good to hear from you again. You are up early.
Thank you, sir. I just want to register my concern.
Please.
Despite whatever that is going on in Nigeria, You see, where the trajectory is going. Nobody is looking at the pains and all the horrors that an average Nigerian is suffering under the hands of this zoo. Nobody is ever talking about that anymore. This is why it's very difficult to come out to save Nigerians. This is why it's very difficult to think about helping Nigerians. I'm not saying Simon Ekpa is perfect. There are things he does that, you know, some of us don't like.
I agree with
but
as well.
Why? Yes. Why did he pick up arms? This is the question. He wasn't the first person who picked up arms. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you know, called for that situation because of what was happening in the Southeast. Few days ago, we heard that the Nigerian military bombed, they said mistakenly, and we know that this is not the seventh time that such thing has happened.
Yep.
Correct. And we know about what happened also at the Shiroro Dam. The reason why we are having power grid failure is because terrorists are camping at that area, and they used power grid as a means to get ransom. So anytime they need money, they turn off the lights, and then until Nigerian government pays them, then they turn off the light. So that is another way to seize some of our national assets to use it to make milk Nigeria. Now, looking at the general picture, if you're in a marriage and for 60 plus years that marriage is not working, is it not a good time for people to say, man, let's go our separate ways? Why is it giving Nigerian government a nightmare in this age? Because Simon Ekpa may be taken out, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may be taken out. More people are getting aware of what is going on. And this is not going to stop.
It won't.
So the earlier this generation, because if you look at the generation doing this, these are the generation that benefited from Nigeria.
I know.
It is not the kind of generation that are suffering. These are the generation that Nigeria gave everything to spend to train them overseas. And they are the generation that are doing this.
I know.
I'm calling on every Nigerian.
Quickly, before you continue.
Go ahead.
Right? You see, somehow, as I personally say, I don't support violence, right? It's because openly like this, I can't advocate for it, right? But
yes,
if to say those who have the privilege of picking up arms, for example, right? They now went after, let's say, every government house in I'm just using that as an example. Every government house in Eastern Nigeria has become almost a ghost town or a ghost place for these criminal politicians who are sponsoring Ebobiagu, they're sponsoring this unknown government, sponsoring other armed groups that are unleashing terror on the people of Eastern Nigeria, right? If successfully, right, they turned all those their government houses to places that they themselves don't feel safe in anymore. Do you know that some people won't raise any whim?
True.
Do you get that now? You see, a lot of people got so shocked when we watch videos of civilians. And we know, like I said yesterday, there are those who love easily to want to rub a bit of a denial over it by saying, no, it was done by us. Okay, if this was done by Asari, done by unknown this and that, it is not in the place of Simon to be publishing and promoting that and, you know, revving in that. That is sending a totally wrong message to others. Some people may love it too. There's somebody called me on this program last night and said, well, they were warned. They didn't listen. I was like, okay, now, did you listen to yourself? I am fighting for the freedom of my people from those who have militarily occupied our land. And because I told them to stay at home and they are not staying, that is why we shot at them and burned their cars. How does that sound to you? Does that mean that if we have this Biafra, right, if I disobey the supreme leader, does that mean a death sentence? He said, yes. That's not right, Odogu. That can be the Biafra people like yourself want. Because at the end of the day, right, it's going to be from frying pan to fire. Don't you think?
Absolutely, you are right. We share the same views.
So that's the point. Some of people don't even get it. Okay, and is this Simon that is sending them? If he's not sending them, why is he publishing their videos and saying yes? He's all over the social media. He's all over his internet. What do you call it? His Twitter page. He hasn't even deleted them. So when people try to kind of push the blame elsewhere, it is like insulting our intelligence. And this is what we are trying to say, that, you see, if you publicly promote this, it simply means you are in on it.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
You
but
what I mean
one
now?
thing
that we are totally against how he's done a lot of great work.
Absolutely.
You get what
but
I mean
one
now?
thing I will not. Yeah. One thing I will not do is. You see, an average Nigerian is a victim of Nigerian government, including me and you.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the way we grew up. Mm-hmm. You saw the way they took my father. You know, they shot my father, and all those experiences. We are victims. Now, imagine a victim attacking another victim. So one thing I will not do, regardless, is just like, no matter how bad your children are, you are still a parent. You will always love them. No matter how bad Simon has become, even though he was wrong, I will condemn his wrong actions, but he is still a victim of the Nigerian situation.
To my face. You know, one thing is this, and I hate people insulting my intelligence. Okay, they are actually telling me to go and investigate what I know. Some of them are even telling me that what I don't know is more than what I know. I'm like, just shut up, man. Is that what you say to yourselves? What you don't know is more than, so like, you get what I mean? You are insulting the intelligence of people. This guy never hide this level of barbarity. And a lot of us are watching and we're like, no, it shouldn't be this way.
If you remember my case, I could possibly say similar things. You know what I said? You know what I said the other day?
Yep.
These people killed my father, 34 years. My mom was 28, 7 children. They killed my father just like that because he couldn't give money. And while he drove off, this soldier fired at him from the back and splashed his brains all over the place. Imagine if I say such thing. Don't I have a right to say it? Is it not the reason why Netanyahu is taking arms against Hamas and dealing with them? Because we remember the horrors of October 7th. When you are feeling pain, you know what you are going through, and that pain drives your passion for whatever you do. It may be justified, it may not be justified, but the way you go about your pain determines how you respond. Because
imagine for a second, right? That because in the time of that anger in paying back what the Hamas did, which we have seen what that has led to, right? Netanyahu now turned the Israeli weapons on Israelis simply because he felt like, I'm just using it now, like it felt like some of these Israelis in Israel, they are supporting Hamas. Do you think the Israelis will still take him the way they are taking him?
But there's a part to this that I wanted to mention yesterday, but the line went off.
Right.
You and I know that there's a third factor playing role in that Eastern Nigeria, and that is the Nigerian government.
Right.
Nigerian government, because of the kind of propaganda they are playing, they will not stop at nothing from paying people. Remember what happened in Abia State when they went and killed some people and kidnapped some people. Nigerian government is capable of anything, including taking credit for some death.
This is the denial I'm trying to stop as well. You see, if Nigeria, like for example, let's say they paid people, okay, and they are making the video, is it in the place of Simon to be publishing the same video on his Twitter?
Correct. That's where I'm not happy. Yes, that's where I'm not happy.
Where I am. This is where I am now. That even if you want to say some people are being sponsored to do it, but Simon is uploading the video, the pictures, gory pictures, videos on his own platform, claiming responsibility. His supporters don't want to even see it that way.
Correct. That's why I'm not happy with it.
The evidence is there. Go onto his Twitter right now. They are there.
No, I do.
So can we still turn around and say the government is sponsoring them when somebody else is posting the video, claiming responsibility? Can we?
My brother, that's, we share views on that angle.
Where I am as well. I'm not saying there are no other thought factors. I've admitted to that on this platform. I've given evidences of that here too, right? But what happened is that if somebody posts a video and say, we told them to sit at home, they did not listen, that won't settle down well with me. And this is where I am. So if somebody now come around and say he didn't do it, and I'm like, but he's claiming responsibility. He's
he played into their hands.
Okay. So if we now say, oh, he only played into their hands, isn't that understandable than to say, oh, you, Mayegun, you don't understand? What do you mean I don't understand? That is playing on my own intelligence, you get? But anyway, Odogu.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. But but he's still our brother. He's still my brother, and a parent cannot condemn his child, no matter how bad it is. We'll still pray for a release because my people are suffering. The Biafrans are suffering. In fact, we have psychologically left Nigeria. You and I know that already. And the only reason why we don't have IDP in the southeast is because of these terrorists know that there's a force waiting for them once they come in.
That's right.
So thank you so much for your reflection on this situation.
Thank you so much as well for your understanding. Okay, you have a good one, Odogu. I'll see you again.
You too, my brother. Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah.
So I think Ed is calling back. Have I not spoken to you earlier? Hello.
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 Yeah.
I think we did speak earlier, didn't we?
No, this is
I picked it and it dropped, Abby.
Yeah. No, you're misquoting me. You're misquoting me.
Grand. Thank you so much for calling back. Okay, please.
Okay. What is there? Yeah, my full name is Oradibe.
Oradike.
Oradibe Oganazu.
Bless you, Baba. Please.
I'm dwelling in Eastern region.
Oh.
I will not disclose the location to you.
Are you?
Yes.
I mean, this is great. So somebody from the Eastern region can add your view to this, and it makes it more interesting. Please go ahead, Oradike.
I will give you one or two clarification.
Go ahead, sir.
I will bet with my head. BLA, Biafran Liberation Army, has never ever hurt a citizen or a civilian of Nigeria or Biafra going on their own. They haven't do that. You watch all these people who comes to destroy people's belonging on the day of sit at home, we lay them on the road is a plot from governor, federal government, their representatives are Sari Dokubo guys in River State. I'm telling you of what I know. I'm telling you of what I'm a part of. That they are paid to come and do this thing and target the name of Biafra. And when you see Simon...
Hang on, Oradike, before you continue, okay? Did you hear the conversation I had with Odogu earlier? Right?
Yes, I had it. That is why I come.
If the ones we have seen were sponsored people, and most of these videos, I didn't see them from third parties. I saw them on Simon's Ekpas.
If you can let me in, that's where I'm going to.
Okay,
that's where I'm going to.
Go on.
So for you to see these very videos on Simon's Ekpas page is for comprehensive of what is this as this thing happened now. What is this? There is no way Biafran soldiers can kill a defender and a Biafran soldier and use his head, be dancing along the road. Federal government, federal police will never come after them. That's what they did. All these people who gang together and sold Nnamdi Kanu, we are using the money they have and the funding of federal government to sabotage Igboland and Biafra land so that they will call them another name. It's what's going on. I know how many times I've been approached, but I said no. So I'm not talking what I don't know. But what I'm praying for and what we are facing now, every truth will come to an end. Believe you me, if you know the name of the people who sold Nnamdi Kanu, my dear, if you see them, you will never allow them to pass on the road. And those who sit on it, and those who collaborated on it, because of what? They want to have a name. They say they want to become reasonable in Nigerian political party. They will say it. They are saying it openly. That is why you see them jubilating. Simon Ekpa is arrested. Simon Ekpa is arrested. It's not moving me an inch.
I mean,
because
stop the struggle anyway.
to defend Biafra land, Simon Ekpa will not be there. We are ready with full ground to defend Biafra land.
Well,
Even though Simon
Ekpa
made it.
So yourself being being an active player in there, you are vowing to say that you would never hurt a civilian in a way.
Never. Okay, look at it now. Just look at
go on.
Just look at Nigeria. Look at Nigerians. Terrorists has been killing Nigerians since 1999. Since 1999, whom do you think has anybody brought to justice? None.
No.
Anybody has there? None. They kill, they'll do everything, but none has been on the trail of justice.
I know.
What they used to do is when they give those guys little money, I know many of them who pull away from IPOB, who pull away from Eastern Security, who pull away from Simon Ekpa. They went and go and take money. Who is their funder? Who give them money? Transaction money. Who pulls them? What is his name? Let Oba is the one that carried them and buy a bike for them and give them gun. Fund them, fuel them. They call them Ebubag, but they are killers. They go to people, rape family, kill everything, and tell you the name is IPOB, is Biafran Liberation Army. The Biafran Liberation Army has never ever in life, even though as people used to be, because when I was in army, when we get a place, we see banana, we start to get it or take people's food. They never do this thing because they are warned. As soon as you do it, you go down. You don't need to soil your thread. That is an oath to be up and doing. So what we are fighting is for freedom. We don't need to oppress people. That's what I want to say. So anybody
that is actually really fair.
When you see
and then
let me say something.
Right.
When you see Simon Ekpa paging things, the one about Biafran soldiers, the one about Nigerian soldiers, the one of these enslaved people do, is keeping and waiting for judgment, because we know who do whatever they do. By the day of judgment, all of them will be evidence to everybody. That is why you see that very thing. It seems as why do he do it? So if you want to see it, you go there and see it. And when you ask him, he will give you the answer of everything.
For the sake of this conversation, okay, I am just going to, take what you have said. But, my point stands, okay, where, videos of this assault, right? These killings as well.
Yes.
Where Simon wasn't asking questions. Simon was actually saying, we warned you in a Biafra land. We'll give you this, we'll give you that. And see, you being an active member, like you said, okay, telling us that in your own command, you will never hurt the civilian. It's really refreshing to hear.
Never.
So I'm going to take your word for it.
Never.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Never. Except
go on.
We are after those who carry gun. We are after those who carry gun and those who come to kill our children and destroying our farm and destroying everything. Even though those Fulani comes with their cow, no gun with them, we just chase them away. They go away, carry their cow and go away. But as soon as you're on uniform, you carry gun, you're a target because we know what you come for. So war has been in Nigeria. Only a foolish that there is no war in Nigeria. There is a war.
There is.
Thank you, my brother.
With that too. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling
in.
It's refreshing. And I kind of see you'll be the second person who is a very strong advocate for Simon, who sounds so rational. Okay. And I appreciate it that you find it interesting to call into this program today. All right. It makes it balanced.
Thank you so much.
Baba. All right. Take it easy too.
Thank
all right.
You,
cheers.
Bye.
So I am almost out of time, or we are almost out of time. But here is a caller. We have just about 10 minutes to go. Here. Hello.
My king.
Hey,
my
Prince
king.
Prince Adebayo from Sweden.
My king.
It's been
my
an
king.
interesting morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, my king. My king, I'm fine.
Bless you.
See this matter of this terrorism or separatism or whatever, you know. There's something I just discovered about all of these people who champion these causes.
Right.
Ranging from the one in the creek, what's that one name?
Asari.
The fat one. Asari. This one they just arrested. All of them. There's something that they lack that you can see. They are naive. You cannot be fighting a good cause from a wrong location. That is one. If you are fighting for the cause of Biafra, which is a legitimate cause, the first and foremost, you must get your lobbyists right. And you must seek out the countries that are sympathetic. Now, we don't know up to today, after how many years, after how many lives have gone, we don't know how many countries are sympathetic. How can you locate yourself in a country where you don't know whether they are sympathetic
to your cause?
Or not? And you are located there. That is one. Two, how can you travel to another country? That's Nnamdi Kanu now. How can you travel to another country without pure proper knowledge that there is Interpol and there are countries that are doing deals? You cannot champion a cause for people as enlightened as Biafrans, and you champion it from a place of lack of knowledge and lack of exposure and lack of network and lack of what's it called again? Allies.
Some intelligence reports as well.
Some intelligence reports. You see that in your bedroom and be championing a cause.
Yeah, Showore said something recently. He said when he met with Mazi in New York a few years back, right? He said he told him that, you see, this Biafran cause that you are embarking upon is so great, but you know what? You have put a mark or a target on your back.
On your back.
Which means you have to be careful where you go, who you interact with.
Yes.
Because a lot of them, they will use you to get a good deal from Nigeria. If
exactly.
He said it.
Exactly. Okay, now you are champion. Since they have been championing this team, many people have died, but they are championing from the position of one person. How can you champion Biafra from Finland? What is the stance of Finland? Is Finland against Nigeria? So that means any day that Finland is tired or they want to use you as a
bargaining chip,
they'll just hand you over. Yes, they will hand you over. This is kind of thing that's why I don't put my mouth in this kind of thing. You cannot champion a cause for people as intelligent as those people from your bedroom. And you're moving here. Right? That is because there's something. Where is the fund coming from? The fund must be coming, you must be benefiting somehow for you to put yourself in that kind of danger. Because that is a dangerous position to put yourself. The Arabs, they know this thing better. Till tomorrow, they cannot tell you who are the Hezbollah or what's the other one, Hamas. They have countries that are sympathetic to their cause. That is why Israel is continually fighting the countries that are sympathetic to them. Because there are many countries sympathetic. Who are the countries sympathetic to you? Why are you endangering your family? And then you are championing a cause as beautiful as the cause of Biafra. You put yourself there. People are sympathetic to you. But then, where is the fund coming from? Where is the fire coming from? Who are your people? Before Nnamdi Kanu went
the charges right now is that is using Finland as a base to fundraise, to fund terrorism. I've seen the charge paper, Baba. I probably will bring it up later this evening. So that people can know that this is not an invitation. Like some people want to believe. They only invited him. They will let him go soon. It's not an invitation.
You see?
This is a case.
How can you allow yourself to be in such... How can you put yourself as a guinea pig in this kind of war? In this global war today, go and learn from the Arabs. Go and learn from them. You can't champion. It's a beautiful story. You have a beautiful story. They massacred you people. There was a genocide. But you're not telling the story well because you're allowing people who are not enlightened, who are not exposed, who don't know how to lobby. In America, there's a way you can put yourself together and lobby for your cause. That they will start to mention, even if they don't support you physically or outrightly, they will say what Nigeria did was wrong. But the way you are following it, you want to leave, and you watch that. Why are you not targeting the criminal? Why am I not hearing that? Hey, one aide of Tinubu have been kidnapped. One aide of or this one that's making me annoyed every day.
Look up more money and see the video of Uzodijo in a video
yes,
begging for his life because he's
begging for his life. You know, if those ones are not funding part of your campaign. Because I can't believe that people like Wike are moving freely anywhere. Or people like Ojo moving freely.
They have done, no, and they are happy, they are proud.
With what they have done. Yes. The only thing is somebody who cannot feed will manage to come outside, you go and buy him because he come out on Monday. If he has enough food in the house, will he come out? He does not know that they might buy him and he still come out. That's poor people. Yes.
I'll take another one, okay, because of our time. All right. Hopefully, we'll continue this later this evening because I know it's not going anywhere. Even if I come here,
the thing is annoying me, honestly.
You get what I mean? If I come here to talk about other things, people are still going to call in and start talking about this Ekpa issue. It's not going anywhere soon. But thank you for stopping by. All right. I'll take one more. We can call it noon. Here, I think this is Charm. Is that you?
Hello, good
and this
morning.
must be so serious that you are using your two phones to call at this. How are you, Charm?
Good morning. Good morning, my girl. Oh, sorry, or afternoon, I think.
Well, you're almost in the afternoon anyway, so we are almost in the evening. Yeah.
Okay. You know this. I don't know where to start from.
Which one to start from? Is it about not selling lands, or is it about the Finland arresting Simon and 4 others for terrorism? Which one do you want to take on?
Okay, so
or
I'm not gonna.
Runuku, Jesutega Onokpasa.
No, Onokpasa, that he can go on and continue crying on different platforms about being betrayed by Tinubu. That's his business. If you have so much,
so go on.
Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit on this Simon Ekpa, and I don't really have a lot to say, to be honest, but I think I want to bring people's attention to the timing of everything, right? Whether or not people will find it suspicious that all of a sudden you have, Trump being elected as the United States president, and then him naming an ally, or the so-called ally of Biafra.
And now the lobbyist that
the so-called person that has worked with Biafra, all of that, we know that as his chief of staff. So that's one. Well, that's one duck, and then you now have a so-called sit at home that took place, and then you had allegedly people being killed, on we don't know on whose orders, right? So that's another duck, and then next thing you have Simon Ekpa being whether it's by invitation or being what's the word now? Arrested, I guess.
And he's on trial as we speak.
Okay, so he's been arrested and it's on.
Are you there, Charm? Okay. I think it was same thing that happened yesterday when Odogu called. That was when the whole situation was hot. And among the messages I received from Ekpa's supporters was that I cut him off. I disallowed his call. But that won't be me, okay? Because I take my calls randomly. And if the network cuts you off, just remember, it is not on Mayegu. Okay. So Charm, I don't know what happened to that. We've lost that call. And my time is very much up. I only have just about 2 more minutes and I can call it the afternoons because I'm going to go ready for the evening as well. Okay, I think she's back. Charm, my time is so up now that you would have to actually accelerate your point without.
Okay,
us.
so
Yeah.
I think just real quickly, the point I was trying to make is that we have to let us not forget that who is in power at the moment is Tinubu, the CIA, the current CIA, active CIA agents, assets, who is there in power in Nigeria. I just want to bring people's attention to this. Into the longest wanting to label the struggle for the emancipation of Biafra land as a terrorist group, right? So, whilst we're saying yes, and I agree with you that whether or not it was wise of him to take those videos and place it on there? We really don't know. We can know the specifics of the case, but we don't really know like certain insider details. We saw all of these things on his Twitter page and all of that, but you do know that people can hack into people's Twitter pages.
No, don't go
if they want to.
Please, champ, please. Okay,
no,
please.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, listen, I'm not saying
somebody has taken responsibility for what he's been doing. So don't let us use assumption to create a scenario here. All right.
Okay.
So some people believe that it could be out of, some said it's youthful exuberance. Others said that it wasn't promoting this stuff, right? It was practically just amplifying it. Whatever other, but don't use ACAS now. That is going to be like an extra here. All right.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I know that you're very passionate about if you're going to do something right, you should do it the right way. Okay. I don't believe in killing your own people in order to make a point. I think that is counterproductive and only plays into the hands of the people who wanted
to hang you. That's the point.
Exactly. Of the people who want to make you.
Before you continue, right? Do you remember that I came here way back then, right? When this armed struggle started. And I said, please, guys, I know a lot of you wanted to take your pound of flesh on these murderous uniformed men in the East. But please do not celebrate unknown gunmen because most of them are politically sponsored. If you take responsibility for all their actions, it's going to bounce back. That they are going to actually say, it's you. Some people actually abuse me for that. But some people... I think that was something. There was a time that when some people said, the media said IPOB attacked so and so. Simon went on his platform and said they should not give the glory of his BLA to IPOB. IPOB DOS is dead. They are this, they are that. That he did it. It was the BLA. So when people try to want to change the narrative, I feel a little bit insulted. I won't say something I didn't see. You get that now?
So listen, I don't think we're having a conversation here, right? And what I'm trying to say is this, and I think we're on the same page largely, is that for me, looking at it, the only beneficiary to the outcome of Simon Ekpa being where he is right now, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being held in prison is the illegitimate Nigerian government or the CIA-led Nigerian government. They are the only ones. They're the only ones who are the beneficiaries of all of these things. And because when you start to understand the people who are the beneficiary of a thing, right, then you have to start questioning the things that led up to those things. And that's where I'm at now. Yeah. I'm not saying that he didn't do what he said he did, or he didn't say what he said, but you have to allow me to think from the point of who benefits at the end of the day from all of this. And the only beneficiaries between all, from Simon Ekpa being where he is right now and potentially being in prison, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being held, and we don't have any, exactly. So who benefits? And at the end of the day, we know who benefits and who loses. Ultimately, the loss will be on the Biafran side. The gain will always be on the CIA-led at the end of the day, right? So these are the things that when we are thinking about it, when we're talking about it, like the other person who called in to tell us that, we're not being smart, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not being smart, or Simon Ekpa wasn't being smart, and all of that, because, we need to get lobbyists and we need to know who our allies are and all of that. I say, listen, people have not been doing this work yesterday. They've been doing it a long time. The truth of the matter is that a lot of us don't really understand what it's going to take to actually extricate ourselves from that. Exactly, because now that we know that we have a CIA asset, and I will keep saying it so that people can understand what it means to have a current CIA asset in your office in Aso Rock. It means that you don't have a government. It means that you don't have a country. It means that you're not autonomous. That whatever you're doing is led by another foreign entity. Okay, so unless people understand that, they understand what the problems are. So when these kind of things happen, and again, it's suspicious to me that it happens at the heel of Trump becoming president, him naming a so-called ally into one of his cabinets, and all of these things are happening just prior to him taking out of office. It has to make you wonder, and that's all I want to say here.
I mean, you make a very valid point there, because there's a chance that for the first time, okay, the IPOB, let's put it that way, because the lady worked with the IPOB, okay, even though, yeah, it was, so for the first time, the IPOB is having a very, like presumably now, if she is still on the side, okay, that they are having a very strong ally in the White House. Yes. If they build on that, okay, that could be a very huge plus to the Biafran struggle. Okay. So all this clamp down, left, right, and center, they may not totally be coincidence. Okay. It may not be coincidence. However, there is also this big elephant in the room. All right. Yeah. We are living in a world where we have what is called a free speech, no doubt. But somehow we are also not really free. You understand? So we are living in a world where somehow, some of them want that contraption to remain what it is. So if all of us can think it through before we act, that's what Prince Adebayo was saying. Okay, if we can think it through, it will be ideal, okay, to not play into their hands. It's like somebody they want to roast, and you are now dousing yourself with petrol. So you are making it easier for them. Do you get it now? So, however, we have few more months now to see how this is going to play out.
Exactly how it is. But I mean, if there's any message, I mean, I don't really, like I said, I don't really have a lot to add to all of this, but I'm just trying to get people to pay attention to the timing of some of these things that are happening, and also bear that you are being led by a CIA asset. So don't think for once that they don't know that it is their best interest to keep that contraption the way it is by any means necessary, which is what they're doing right now. The only thing I'm going to say is that in the Chedebenu MN case, Chedebenu Simon Mazin Namdukano, do you understand? Biafra, you have to go now and go and get Biafra for yourselves. Stop looking for a savior. There are no saviors. You're the only person that can
relocate to Burkina Faso. The moment I decided to go the Shekau way myself, I'll leave the UK, I promise you. Because last I won't be what Yoruba call the Tenitika, sleeping with the enemy. All right? We know those who want Nigeria to remain where it is. If any of us decided to take a battle up with Nigeria, we shouldn't stay in a place where those who are okay Nigeria want it to remain as it is. We shouldn't stay there to start with.
Absolutely. My God, you do great work. I have to. Great work, and I appreciate it.
You have no idea that I am now like a punching bag to people who are so angry. I'm not the one people should be angry with. I am just someone who wants people to actually pay attention. And I'm glad.
Oh my God, I can speak for myself. You've done that for me, and I really appreciate it, and I'll always appreciate you. And I wonder for the people who are taking you as a punching bag. At the end of the day, and this is what I said in Igbo to my people: we stop looking for saviors. We are not weak people. We don't need saviors. Okay, stop looking for savior. If you want to save it, save yourself. And if saving yourself means fighting for Biafra, go out there and do it. Stop looking at Nnamdi. Stop looking at he has done his best. And if we tell ourselves the truth, there's a chance that man will not come out. Let us tell ourselves the truth. And so if you're waiting for exactly what will happen if he doesn't? Does the dream of Biafra?
I don't think so.
That's all of it. It doesn't. So let's not be waiting for these people. Let's us even as ourselves. As many as we can, keep talking about ways to actually emancipate ourselves from that contraption. And like you said, ultimately, and which is why I said, I said to you, I wanted to stop watching the show for a while. The only reason why I said that was because after I heard that particular bit about an active CIA agent, I said to my sister, listen, it's remaining for me to wear khaki uniform and come and become a rebel in that country. But I have a 5-year-old. So
no, don't worry. I mean, they are pushing all of us to that edge here, though, right? It's just that a lot of us will need to learn from where others have made mistakes. Do you get what I mean now?
Absolutely.
So that we don't fall into the same trap and don't play into their hands in this manner, okay? Thank you, Cham, for stopping by, all right? You have a good
day. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a Cham, and that's where we're going to draw the curtains this afternoon. I'm going to see you later this evening. I mean, if you still have a chance of joining me then, please do. And if you have finally made up your mind that, no, I don't like this guy, don't worry. I am the only person that can say the truth to your face, even if it makes you uncomfortable. All right? Eventually, you will come around. All of us People always do. They always come around. Okay. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon or morning or maybe evening. I will see you later.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Ayíbi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.